Sports Report with EB. How many names does he have?
Hi, guys.
What's up, Meansters?
Happy Thursday, travelers. Hope everybody's doing well. We wanted to go on like a minute early because we were a minute late on Saturday, and we thought we'd make it up to you guys. So I hope you guys are doing well. It seems like we have a couple people on already, so we just wanted to say hi since we're sitting here, and we're like, we want to talk to them.
And cheers.
And cheers. Yes, happy Thursday.
Cheers so I can start drinking. Woohoo! Oh man, today is Thursday. I kept thinking it was Wednesday. I was about to tell everybody, one drink Wednesday. Let's go, people.
No.
Nope.
It's Thursday.
Thirsty
silly.
Thursday.
All right. Hi to everybody who's on. So, Lori Sims, welcome. Ronnie, I'm so sorry that you had a rough day at work, it sounds. And we were really looking forward to talking to you. So, we're glad that you're on. And hopefully we all can just hang out and have a drink or not. And just cheers to each other. And, yeah. We're almost through the week, aren't we? And then Katie Smith's on. Hello, travelers. Hello, Katie. And Eric Brown. Two Eric Browns, I believe, are on. We got the Sports Report with EB and Eric Brown. So we are very lucky indeed.
Yep. Just so you're aware, it does seem like we might be lagging just a bit. So we just need to be mindful of that as we go forward.
Okay.
It looks like it's good now, but just wanted to.
Ooh, I hope we're not lagging. Sorry, guys, if we are. And Darian's on.
Darian!
Howdy,
Howdy, sir. How are you?
And Glenn Camp. Glenn, I know that these live streams aren't always, something that you're good with joining all the time. So we're really, really grateful to have you on.
Yep.
And hopefully all is well. I feel like I can't remember where Glenn's at, if he's in the U.S. or in the U.K. Shady Hill Homestead.
Shady Hill,
Hi,
what's
guys.
up? How you doing?
And then Darlene is on.
From upstairs.
What's
up, guys?
Julie Good. Mom.
Julie Good. Hello. Happy Thursday to you as well. Katie Smith.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for joining. We're really, really pleased to have all of you guys. Tonight, it's our first Thursday live stream in quite some time, and we have always really enjoyed these.
And in honor of that, I wore a blue zipper thingy.
Oh, is that
instead of
so?
my maroon? So you're all welcome.
Well, it's mostly because I was wearing a maroon jacket, and Derek walked over in his maroon zip up that he wears in half the videos on this channel.
In my signature sweater.
Yeah.
She's like, nah.
He's obsessed with his maroon zip up, which is from the same brand as this one. But just
Tell me about
I think you just like the color better. And I think you're wearing it in every single UK video that we made. So
it's called a minimalist wardrobe, everybody.
An unintentional minimalist wardrobe.
Glenn is from Southern Pines, North Carolina.
So that's cool. Great. I was just looking at some different spots in North Carolina this week. Specifically, I was looking at Asheville because we're kind of starting to plan a road trip. I know. You've been involved. Don't look so surprised.
Where are we going? It's in the U.S.
Yeah, we're not going abroad this time. But yeah, hello to Chris Frank. Welcome. So yeah, we were just gonna talk to you guys about. First of all, we'd love to hear how you guys' weeks have been going. Ours has been pretty busy. We got to meet our nephew for the first time,
which was awesome.
Which we were super, super excited to do. And then we've just been working and chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Did I forget anything?
No.
We watched. We started watching.
Yes. New show.
Derek.
So we finished Bridgerton.
Yes. Yeah.
And we started watching the morning show on Apple TV Plus or whatever.
Yeah. So the morning show has Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, and a bunch of other people.
And it's great.
And it's pretty good.
Great. It's really good.
Cheers to Megan Morris. Thank you so much.
Megan,
Happy
yes.
hour.
Happy hour with Meansters.
I feel like we always have a little bit of a different energy on the Thursday night ones. It's really fun.
Alcohol-induced energy.
Alcohol-induced energy, I suppose, yeah.
But yeah, no, so, so not a whole lot going on this week. But the big thing that happened is yesterday we kind of made that like plunge into planning our next trip. And I guess we can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we started...
Do you want to start with that, or do you want to start with talking about this delicious wine that we're drinking?
Well, we could do that since...
All right, let's do that as, hopefully some more people join, and then we can talk about our future plans a little bit.
Yeah.
But we are drinking this delicious Sangiovese from Ferrari Carano. This is not sponsored.
We wish it was sponsored. Ferrari Carano, please reach out to us.
If you're watching, we like your product. So Ferrari Carano is actually the first vineyard that we went to together in wine country in California. So we went to Sonoma County. My brother lived up there, and went to a number of different vineyards. But the one that we really loved, and it was the first one that we went to, and did like a whole wine tour there, was Ferrari Carano's vineyard. And it is gorgeous, like Italian Tuscan villa looking place. It's awesome.
The reason why we chose it is I was kind of lost on which ones to do because you have so little time. There's so many vineyards, and I hadn't really been out there before. And at that moment in time, Derek's brother didn't drink alcohol, despite living in Sonoma County. And so we I started just looking up on TripAdvisor what people were writing about different vineyards. And this place had just really good reviews, especially from women. And so I was like, that's interesting. And people were like, this one's my favorite. So I was like, well, maybe
I think it's because of the Chippendale
No, there's no Chippendale dancers, but that would be funny.
It's like, while you're sipping on that wine.
Yeah. So I started looking up photos of it, and it just looked so appealing. And we went there and we loved it. We signed up for the
wine club
the first time.
Guys, I am a sucker for wine clubs, and it's always the first one we go to I end up signing up for. So we signed up for that one, and then when we went to Napa a couple years later, we went to Chateau Montelena, and it was the first one we went to. I got overexcited, pulled the trigger, and now we are a part of that as well.
Yeah, but thank God for those TripAdvisor reviews, because a couple years later, after we had already shared that vineyard with Derek's brother, he started sharing it with his then girlfriend, and then he actually proposed to his now wife at that vineyard. So this is a very special vineyard to the Zacarias.
The Zacarias clan. Yes. Yeah, no, it's a very cool place. Highly recommend it if you are out there or looking for a place to go, especially because if you don't want to go to Napa because it's kind of expensive, Sonoma is a little bit more approachable. And this is around Healdsburg, and there's a lot of great vineyards around the Healdsburg area. So highly recommend it.
Yeah, so hi Thomas, welcome.
Thomas Reiser! What's up?
Very fun to have such a great crew on a Thursday night. So I just wanted to, from the get-go, say, so we are having, in January, 2 Saturday live streams and 2 Thursday live streams. So this is the second of 4. And then the next one is going to be a week from Saturday. So I don't remember what the exact date is, sorry, off the top of my head. But it's a week from Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then that following Thursday, similar to what happened this week, we're going to do the final January live stream. So hopefully you guys can join. Give us feedback on the timing and everything. And if hopefully these Thursday times work, because we really like doing them. And so if you guys are liking the evening weekend combos, or if one of these nights don't work for you, like shout it out to us, either private message, or you can say it in the chat. We'll read it. But yeah, it's just we're trying to find that sweet spot right now of, the best times that work for the whole crew. Yeah.
So Megan Morris is saying that she loves wine clubs. However, Kentucky is one of the few places you can't get alcohol shipped. The bourbon lobby is legit. Yes, that's quite strong.
I didn't know that. So we were just visiting the nephew in Indianapolis this week, and Derek's brother and sister-in-law were saying that they can't receive wine shipments in Indiana. Was that right?
Yep, that is true.
I'm not sure. We get ours shipped to Illinois still, so I think there's several states that are like that you can't really sign up for those clubs.
Yeah, and a lot of times it depends on the vineyard and where they ship to, because the U.S. has a very archaic rule system for the shipment of alcohol across the country, where to ship to a place, you might be a vineyard in New York, and if you want to ship to Indiana via truck, it's not that you need to have the distribution license in Indiana and in New York. You need all the states that you then drive through as well. So it's kind of a crazy system. So
yeah. Oh my gosh, there's a Big Wide World says, hello from the future, it's mid-morning Friday here.
What's
so
up,
funny.
Big Wide World?
I think they're in Australia, if I'm remembering correctly.
For it to be mid-morning Friday, that makes sense.
Thanks, guys, for joining.
Yes,
I hope Friday's
thank
treating
you.
you well. Happy Friday, really.
Yeah, talking about good wine, Australia has some very delicious wine.
Yeah, they do. I've always actually wanted to go to one of their wine regions that's featured in Instant Hotel on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head because it's been like a year and a half since I watched the show.
Yep.
And then
We Lovers.
We Lovers, I think. I don't know if it would give you credit in the compilation video. I don't know.
All right. Hey, if you want to collab, send us a message.
Yeah, that would be really fun. So
I do like going barefoot, so.
We do collaboration videos and have in the past, and I'm hoping to just let us know, like, if any of you guys have channels as well. We can direct message, that sort of thing. But it's so funny because it's like we have done them in the past, but we haven't done them recently because we've just been focused collaboration videos.
Oh, yeah.
We've just been focused on our travel videos, so we should probably start connecting with people.
On that, yeah. All right, but I don't want to miss Glenn because Glenn says, Asheville is great, very good food, wonderful history, but wintry at times. I thought you said winery at times. I'm like, I love wineries.
Stop thinking about wine.
One track mind. But wintry at times. Interesting wine. Oh, look at that wine. Interesting wine in the Yadkin Valley, as well as a vineyard in Asheville. Very cool.
Nice.
I love it.
I've never had wine from North Carolina. I've had it from Virginia, and it was very good. I think I mentioned this on another live stream, like way in the past, but I got a wine, the most expensive wine at this winery in Virginia when I went for a bachelorette weekend. It was $30 at the time, and Derek and I created, when we moved all of our stuff into storage in August before our UK trip, we created a wine inventory of our entire collection. Yeah. And so I had to look up like the actual value of each wine that's in our wine vaults. We don't have vaults now. And that wine now values at $80, and it was only from 5 years ago. And I was like, holy smokes.
And it did not cost that much.
It was $30.
$30,
yeah.
So.
I was like,
Good
that
job.
is a crazy return on investment that I was not expecting.
Who needs to buy Apple stock when you can just buy wine?
You can just buy wine from Virginia.
See, I always look at wine when we travel as almost like Homer Simpson looks at lobsters. And I've said this many times to you all. And you're probably getting, annoyed that it's like snappy, right? It's like you buy it young, age it, and then you eat the profits.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same way.
That is an episode of The Simpsons.
Drink the profits here.
You just gave away the episode.
No, I didn't, because there's a twist. That's good. So, Megan Morris, I just shipped a case of wine to my mom in Indiana. WineInsider.com has a free $30 on Amex Platinum offers. You can use it twice. Oh my God.
That's great. Amex Platinum actually always has wine offers, I think. Even on wine.com, I've noticed that if you have the Platinum card, and of course you get great travel benefits as well, but almost always they'll have like Stag Sleep or they have so many offers. Like obviously I'm just talking about wine as it's topical, but if you have the Amex Platinum card, you can get great hotel deals. Mm-hmm. This summer, I believe they had deals on rental cars. So yeah. Good credit card to have. We've definitely used the hotel ones a lot.
Yep. Purdue, welcome Purdue. What's up?
Hey Purdue, welcome.
And
Happy Thursday.
And Thomas, yes, we did see that Mark got interviewed for the local paper, so that was really cool.
Yeah, do you subscribe to that paper? Were you like, I know him?
Well, it was funny because when I saw the picture that he posted on Instagram, it came like reversed, right? So I'm like trying to read it, and I realize I'm really bad at reading things backwards. I guess mirror imaged. So I don't have any idea what
You
the
didn't just
article
see
is
his
about.
face was also on there.
I saw that, but I was also trying to be like, what is it about?
Yeah. That's really, really cool. And I know you were talking with Mark earlier today. Did you say congratulations?
I said congrats.
Oh, good. Okay.
Congrats,
Good.
Big Wide World says lots of great wine regions in Australia. I went to Coonawarra region, famous for red wines. Just before Christmas, happy to travel somewhere. That's awesome. I mean, having a wine region that's like close to you that's good is phenomenal, and I wish we had one. I know we do have a couple of vineyards around us here in Indiana. Not so sure that any of them would be any good. I think that what I've found at least is in places like Indiana, when I've gone to vineyards, they tend to be on the sweeter end of the spectrum, usually. And that's just not really my palate anymore. Back in college, I used to crush me some sweet wine from Oliver Winery in Bloomington, Indiana. Delicious.
Yep.
And a romantic spot to take a date.
Oh, yes. Swoon.
That's how I wooed her.
That's not true. We met each other at freshman orientation.
I wooed her before we were of age.
Yeah, way before we drank wine.
Yes. Drinking age.
Yeah, so I was just gonna read. I think Lori Sims said that she just used Amex Platinum at the Home Depot. I know that they were having like a Lowe's discount all fall. So if they just started a Home Depot one, we need to add that to our card.
Yeah. And Megan Morris is telling us that Asheville has some good cider breweries as well.
Nice.
So
I love cider.
We now need to go to Asheville because she is a sucker for cider.
I do love cider. I mean, I love wine too. So.
Yeah.
But I don't like beer.
Yeah. Glenn is telling us the Southern Pines is adjacent to Pinehurst, golf's home in the U.S. We have 40 courses within a 45-minute drive. Only wines in the Sandhills are muscadines, not to my taste. Well, that's a bummer, but that's a lot of golf. And assuming that you like golf, Glenn, that's a place to live. I mean, as my dad likes to say, if you can live where you like to vacation, you're living a good life. So that's pretty cool.
Totally.
Katie Smith, now we need to do a live stream from your wine vault. We don't have our wine vault, you look at it and be like, that's a maintenance room. Which is basically what it is. But yeah, no, we that is my dream one day, is to make a wine vault in our house.
We have one wine fridge here and then some spillover that's not in the fridge. So it's not like as fancy as it probably would have been at our real house.
Yep. Vega Bonnie, what's up? How's
Bonnie,
Canada?
Welcome. Thanks for joining.
I read some disturbing news that a polar vortex might hit us this year.
Yeah.
And I feel really bad for you,
it.
Bonnie, because you're probably going to get hit in Canada.
Hey, Bonnie might not. Stop it.
Maybe you can dodge it. But yeah, no, it's looking like there might be a polar vortex, and winter might actually arrive this year. So, for everybody who's a little bit further north, bundle up and keep looking at the Weather Channel.
Yeah, and Darian, thanks for announcing it. We're still working through getting you all the stuff in order to get it going. But he says, I'm looking forward to having you guys both on my live stream on February 20th. We're so excited as well. This has been like months in the works, I feel, with Darian. We've just been trying to find a good time to do it. So we are hoping that we're actually going to be on the road on February 20th. So you guys would be tuning in to that live stream interview with us, not in Indiana or Chicago. So I know we're like burying the lead here. We can probably start getting into where we're planning on going. I don't know how much we're not totally ready to share everything because it all kind of started happening yesterday. So
yeah. So, but real quick, let's finish out these last couple of comments and we get into it. So Bonnie does like Thursdays. Megan Morris likes to take advantage. They also have free $50 at Best Buy when you use twice, like at the Home Depot one. That's cool.
Yeah.
I guess I pronounced the wine region correctly according to There's a Big Wide World, and I am not going to try it again because I will not pronounce it the same way twice.
I actually just bought a conditioner with the Amex Platinum card from Aveda, and if I was trying to, because I guess there was a $15 off if you $75 or more or something, and I was like, ooh, should I buy the bigger size just to like be able to get the Amex discount? So it's funny, like once you have the access to it, because you get points that you can redeem with travel points and stuff like that, and then you can also get cash back on things. So it's a pretty great card, I'd say.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah.
It has a very substantial upfront charge, but if you take advantage of it, you can actually make it worth it.
We always used to say like it totally paid for itself because it gives us access into airport lounges, but
not so much right now, which is kind of sad.
Not happening.
A lot of those are closed. Okay, so Bonnie says it was 9 miles per hour over there, very windy. Dang, that's a lot of wind.
That is crazy.
And Thomas Reiser says something about that is not authorized. I'm not sure what. But yeah. Megan Morris.
Yeah, Lori Sims says, great meetup in the works. Yay!
Okay, so what is going on? So we are planning a road trip for February.
Yeah. And March.
Yeah, Feb
March.
Most of the driving is going to be in February, though, because that'll be when we get to the place we're going to.
In March.
And we will be going from Indiana to Utah.
Yes.
Which is fun to say, Utah. So we're going to be going to Utah, but we're not going to drive straight across. Thomas Reiser says polar vortex is prohibited.
We should have guessed.
Ah!
I would love for that to just be like illegal. Like, go home.
Get out of here,
go back
vortex.
To the pole.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so we are going to drive from Indiana to Utah, and we are going to probably head south so that we avoid like Colorado and whatnot on our way to Utah, because we don't want to mess with, driving in the mountains in the wintertime with snow, blizzards, etc. So we're likely kind of head down south towards Texas and Oklahoma area, cut our way over, maybe hit up Phoenix to see some family we have in Phoenix before we head up through like Vegas and up into Utah. So I'm excited about it. We actually booked a place yesterday because we have until February 1st to cancel it if we need to. So we booked something on Verbo, as they like to call it. So we have that booked and we're excited. And we booked a place for a month so we can go hang out and relax, chill, and all that stuff. So when you see us on Darian's awesome live stream on February 20th, we will likely be
in Utah.
Streaming from Utah.
Yep. Yeah.
Where we can go do like hiking and outdoor activities and all this cool stuff.
Yeah, so we're thrilled that we were able to find something that looks at least very cool. Hopefully is. And the road trip in between is going to be the interesting one. So we're kind of plotting out what feels, fun but still safe. And so we're looking at, as Derek was saying, going like southward, if you will. And so we're open to you guys' suggestions for places such as Arkansas, where Derek and I have actually never been. And so we're really, really excited to check another state off. Derek actually gets to check a couple more states off his list.
I've never been to New Mexico and a couple other places. So
I've been to pretty much all the states that we would hit, except for Arkansas. So yeah.
So we'll be like right on that like border area between Oklahoma and Texas and whatnot. So those are just areas that we've never really been to before. So it'll be kind of nice to see those places. We're likely going to basically do big long drive days to get there in a short number of time because at the end of the day, we're not super comfortable stopping off and like sightseeing a lot while we're driving to where we're getting to. The whole idea is to kind of provide, do things that give us space between ourselves and other travelers. We can talk a little bit about why we chose Utah ultimately and everything. But going there, we're likely going to stop a few times and maybe stay in a place for like a couple of days to kind of break up the drive. But, kind of otherwise the driving days will likely be in like those like 10-hour time frames.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah, so we're super excited.
Yep.
But we're also, of course, monitoring how
Mm-hmm.
things shake out over the next 2 weeks with numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and doing our best to plan around probably seeing few people.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
which, like, that's so unfortunate to say. It's like actually kind of tragic to have
Yeah.
to say it that way, but that's just the way that travel works right now. And we chose Utah because there's so many outdoor activities and average temperatures are above freezing.
Yeah.
um,
Average temperatures we're looking at is probably around like that upper 50s, low 60s type range
yeah.
for February and March, which is to me perfect temperatures for hiking, at least during daylight hours. Obviously at night it'll drop down in like the 30s and whatnot, but in the daytime hiking in the like around 60 is perfect.
Yeah, and Lori, we're looking at southern Utah.
Yeah,
For
like
like
near
kind of
like
a home
Zion.
base.
Yeah, near
Yeah.
Zion. And we know some people out there, and it's close to Vegas. So that maybe on Eliz's birthday we can go to Vegas and like have like a nice meal at a restaurant with outdoor seating, maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Derek's a little bit more into the idea than even I am. I'm like, oh, Vegas, I don't know. But
I
maybe
like Vegas.
maybe once we see the Walters World and Turn It Up World collab on Vegas, I'll feel a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we're probably gonna stop in Vegas on our way up because you kind of had to go right through it to get up to southern Utah from Phoenix. But yeah, I don't know. We have a lot of like potential day trips that would be like really cool from Utah, like Zion, obviously. Maybe go up and
Bryce
do like
Canyon.
Bryce Canyon, go down into the Grand Canyon.
I absolutely love Dead Horse Point when we went when we were in Moab. What was it, a year and a half ago now?
That place is awesome.
Of course, I loved Arches and Canyonlands National Park when we visited there too. But that state park was just like it really exceeded my expectations. So Glenn is bringing up a very good point, which is of course what we've learned from another YouTube couple this year, that you need to avoid
Vlogs in national parks.
vlogs
Yes.
in national parks. And yes, we will definitely be doing that and taking that into account.
Yep.
So thank you for giving that kind of heads up, though.
Yes.
We all have to look out for each other on that.
Yeah. So we will be doing our best not to do that. Again, we always try to follow rules and
Yes.
stuff. So, if anything, we might shoot things outside of them, and then maybe use like pictures and stuff to overlay if need be.
And Eric says that New Mexico is one of the 6 states that he's missing. You've seen more than I have, sir. That is great.
That's impressive. I have many more than 6. So. But Blaine is on. Rayleigh Travel, Creative Travel is on.
And Blaine hit 1,000 today.
1K.
That's so funny because Derek was just looking at your channel earlier today and told me that you had hit 1,000.
Yeah, I was like, hey, is that 1K? That's awesome.
So Derek noticed.
So welcome.
We're very happy for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the 1K Club.
And thank you guys so much. Eric, he says hit the like button. So yes, please, if you're watching right now and you're having a fun time, hit the like button down below because it's a great way to support free travel content on YouTube, just by hitting like buttons, subscribing, that sort of thing. And we all kind of need that support right now. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, so let's see here.
And Lori says there should be snow in Utah during our trip. Yes, especially on the mountaintops. Yeah. So my best friend lives in Salt Lake City, which is further north, different elevation than what we're talking about. Okay. So
Glenn, thanks for joining us. I know you're taking off, but thank you.
Thanks, Glenn. Thanks for joining.
We'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you have like, honestly, actually, what I'm looking forward to, if people have them, are tips for good, like potentially social distance things to see along the route. Like if there's something where you're like, hey, you need to see this, and it should be conducive for like a COVID type experience. That would be awesome. As we head over, towards Utah, because that's the one thing that having never driven this route before, not really knowing much in between, that would be super helpful.
Yeah, and Chris Frank says, I'm ashamed to say I grew up in Western Texas and have never been to New Mexico. And honestly, so we were looking at a map today, and I'm not even surprised to hear that because we mapped out how long it takes to get from Dallas to Albuquerque, and it was like 10 hours. I mean, I think 9.5 or something, but still. So
Big states.
it's not like it's really that close because Texas is huge. And then New Mexico, I mean, it takes a little while once you enter into New Mexico to really get to like one of the bigger cities or something. So yeah, it's funny to think about it that way, I'm sure, but it's not crazy to me.
Yeah. But again, the good news is that it's all basically, highway-ish, like easy driving at least. So that's good.
And our Texan friend Ronnie says Texas is huge.
Everything's bigger in Texas. Okay, so Tiffany Mitchell, welcome Tiffany. How you doing? Tiffany says Deadhurst Point is breathtaking, so underrated, a must-see.
Welcome,
and
Tiffany.
I agree.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that you've been to. It's amazing. And so when we went, it was 101 degrees outside, which is going to be very different than when we go this time. And we purposefully only wore white shirts, and we were trying to think of like how little layers we could wear, and now we're trying to be like, all right, what do we need to pack for this completely different trip?
And the answer is lots of layers. But the good news is that we're not flying any, so we're driving there and back. So that means that we have space, right? So we have a big 3-row SUV, so we'll be filling that thing up and taking a lot of stuff along with us, which is nice.
Yeah.
So
and then Julie, I know that we had skipped her question. She's asking if we would maybe go to Sedona. And we've been mapping things out, and I'm not saying no, but because we are trying to visit Derek's grandmother in Phoenix, it kind of depends on how we would get kind of like into the Phoenix area and out of.
Technically, right now, the fastest route is through like Flagstaff and Sedona and whatnot.
To get to Utah from there, yeah.
No, coming down into...
No.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, but then you rerouted because you didn't want to go through the mountains?
Yeah, so
okay.
Our thing is like in the wintertime, you never know with the mountains whether there's going to be snow that could cause issues. And we have a front wheel drive hybrid SUV, so I don't want to deal with a bunch of snow. I just don't trust the car and all that. But I would love to. I hear that's a gorgeous part of Arizona.
Sedona is. I've been. And I think Julie maybe lives close to there.
I've been there like briefly and whatnot, but and it'd be great to go there and see the Red Rocks and see Flagstaff and all that stuff. But we'll have to wait and see what the weather looks like. There's a point at which you kind of make a decision whether you continue going west and then down through like Flagstaff and Sedona, or you head kind of like diagonal and head on down. So we'll have to make the call once we get there and see what the weather looks like.
Yeah, so we're trying as much as we can, just due to the time of year, to avoid the Rocky Mountain, like the highest elevation highways and stuff like that. And generally speaking, we probably would do that year round for the most part, unless we're trying to do something really scenic and like stay in those areas. But if you're trying to do like a long haul through those areas, that's not the smartest thing.
And Julie is also saying that Antelope Canyon in Arizona would be great. That would be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a little bit tighter quarters, so would want to figure out what the tourism looks like.
I wouldn't be surprised if we end up doing Antelope Canyon while we're in southern Utah. We'll see.
Yep.
We'll see what the distance ends up looking like and stuff.
Yeah, so, that is the proposed...
Thomas says he would avoid Missouri. I assume he doesn't mean Mo, like our buddy Mo.
Probably not Mo. Yeah, Missouri. So we've both been to Missouri. It's not on our list of places we need to get to. We've both been to St. Louis. In fact, we watched Yoga Under the Arch in St. Louis, Missouri.
That was another story that we had told.
And that was...
in the past.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful, was it? But in Missouri, we would... There's one way that we would go that goes through Missouri, but we'd probably, since we're in the Cincinnati area, drive more through like Kentucky, Tennessee, to get in that direction.
Yeah. Ronnie is heading to St. Roberts for a week in Missouri.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
I've never heard of that.
I don't know what that is either.
It must be a little town.
Yeah. So, that is kind of our upcoming trip and like what we have going on there. But, we wanted to also open this up to questions if anybody has any travel questions. I do think somebody had one, though, that we missed, which is Megan Morris asking, what is the must-eat food in Utah? I've never been, but I would love to go.
Great question. I don't know if there's like a must-eat, and I'm sorry if I'm forgetting something. But there's like a must-go-to grocery store chain called Harmon's, and they're all over like the Salt Lake City area, and then you can find them. I think there's like 2 down in the southwest corner near St. George, and they're just like this beautiful grocery store that's kind of like if Kroger and Whole Foods had a baby.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's definitely the place that we'd likely be shopping at if we have to fill up our Airbnb or VRBO.
Yeah, I forgot about that place. They actually have like a really nice. The one by St. George has like an outdoor like. You go upstairs and it's like has like an outdoor view of like mountains. And like the parking lot's beautiful.
Yeah, they have like places. Some of them. I don't want to say all of them because I have no idea. I have not been to all of them. I believe some of them have like places to eat that are like an outdoor balcony sort of thing that overlook the mountains.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't think of any like must-eat food in Utah, even despite the fact that we've been to Utah multiple times now.
The 2 people that we've stayed with in Utah, so my best friend is extremely healthy eater.
So that's not fun.
Like, and she eats. No, it's fine, and I actually love it. And then your aunt.
Kidding if you're hearing this, Rachel.
Your aunt and uncle are also pretty healthy eaters. So if there's like a like less healthy, very popular Utah food, we just likely weren't taken to it.
Yeah.
So you guys have to tell us, or we have to do some research.
If anybody has a must-eat unhealthy food, let me know. I will eat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, to me, like Utah is like trail mix and hiking. Like that is like what it is to me. And like when we were in Salt Lake, right, we did like, well, I don't know, actually it's Southwest, so I mean you could probably find some decent like Mexican food and stuff.
There's a very good Mexican food restaurant in Salt Lake City. But I can't remember if there's one down by St. George.
I'm thinking in Moab there's like some good stuff. We went to a pizza place actually in Moab that was really nice.
Moab had a very wide range of cuisines, and it was explained to us that like because so many people from all over the world go to Moab to see the national parks nearby and stuff, and use that as the home base, that it's like I mean they had Thai food, Chinese food, sushi, like I just only listed Asian foods. What else? Mexican. What else is there? I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff to eat, and I think that it's, especially if you go to a place like Salt Lake, I mean, you're gonna have access to pretty much everything. Especially because, I mean, if you think about, Salt Lake City is it's a booming town or booming city, but it also has like such a diverse population because of the LDS Church there, which has a lot of people from all over the world. So it really does have quite a bit of international cuisine. Despite the fact that, it does have like that, rather large portion of the population that is, Mormon, there is quite a few like really good coffee shops and bars and, things like that. And I know that their liquor laws have changed over the last, call it like 10 to 15 years, to be a little bit more liberal and whatnot, so that, they can, more places have come into business and opened up, which is nice.
Yeah. I also wanted to circle back, and just, Eric said Houston is like 800 miles from El Paso. And to put that into perspective, like our road trip from one end of
Cornwall,
the United Kingdom
all
to
the
the
way
other,
up to,
the longest distance you could drive
between 2 points
in
Britain.
In Britain, we did it.
It's 850 miles.
So like basically it's just you don't even leave Texas.
and you look at that on like a U.S. map, and it's like that much. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But again, it is very different driving. It's that doing that is not all highway and all this other stuff. But yeah, no, it's definitely something. People are talking about healthy eating. I feel like they're asking for my other topic. I'm just kidding.
What's your other topic?
Keto.
Oh gosh.
No, I'm kidding.
No, come on.
All right,
so Derek started keto this week. He wants to talk about it, and I told him no because
Monday
but every time you talk about it, nobody
you
else.
lose a subscriber.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose like 7 subscribers from you being like, listen, I love my keto diet.
Guys, you want to know what I had for dinner tonight? I had a Baconator, no bun, from Wendy's.
That is a fact.
Keto diet.
So I guess, anywho.
And this is my cutoff on wine after this. So, okay, so Ronnie's brother is doing some training in the base near there.
Oh,
so
in
that's
Missouri.
why.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I didn't
Makes a lot of
realize.
sense.
I mean, I'm sure there's bases everywhere. But I didn't realize. I'm gonna look up where St. Robert's is.
Very cool. Eric Brown wishes he was a healthy eater. We all do, Eric. Like we ourselves are. Ronnie Dove agrees, and same thing.
Oh wow, St. Robert's like in the middle. I wonder if that's close to. Oh yeah, okay. So, our sister-in-law, her family's from Rolla, Missouri. We haven't been there, but that St.
That's like right there.
Yeah, St. Robert looks like it's really, really close to Rolla.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
We might go there sometime. Ronnie Dove says, I've struggled all my life with eating healthy.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Eating healthy is hard.
Especially on road trips. Oh, my.
Just go over to the Walters World's like tips for a road trip, and you hear Mark be like, get junk food.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's really like what's available. You have to have so much research
Foresight.
done, and and just like to even find healthy foods when you're driving. I feel like sometimes
That's the beauty of a keto diet.
Lori
Just get
says
jerky.
Buc-ee's.
Yes, Buc-ee's.
We haven't been. So that's in.
Gopher nuggets, isn't that a thing there?
Yeah,
Something
well,
nuggets?
hopefully we'll get to try Buc-ee's on this road trip. Because everybody talks about it.
We could
and
do
we haven't
it.
done it.
You've never been to Buc-ee's.
We are behind the times.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have to go off keto for Buc-ee's. But yeah, no, I mean, it's gonna be fun because I feel
Keto's
like
great for him on road trips though, because he can just eat like beef jerky and nuts.
beef jerky, nuts.
It's at every gas station.
Unsweetened iced tea.
Yeah.
Coffee, lots of coffee.
Oh, that's at every gas station. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I highly recommend it. Yes, beaver nuggets, Ronnie Dove. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know what a beaver nugget is. Is it made of beaver?
I think we missed that Walter's World episode, and we'll watch that one.
I'm sorry, guys. Mark Finley, if you're watching, I'm so sorry.
all the marks. I'm
all
so
the marks.
sorry.
But yeah, no, that's great. What I will say though is Darian caught part of your live stream the other day with the dude in Germany who's into street photography. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And I really love the stuff that you guys have been doing, like what you've been doing on your live stream specifically. Like, it's introduced me to some really cool people, including like Julie Young and stuff, or Jung over in Germany and whatnot. And thank you for doing those.
Yeah, we like to tune
putting
in
those
as
together
much as we can.
Yeah.
Derek will sometimes put it on in the background, because we have TV down here, and I'll maybe be working and listening, and Derek will just be watching and talking to you.
Yep. Lori loves jerky.
Yeah, Lori says Walters will just put out a video on Buc-ee's. Yeah, I saw that.
I'll have to watch it.
I actually haven't watched it either, but I saw that it came out like this week or something.
Oh, I thought they put one out a while ago too.
Maybe it's still, yeah. We're gonna
Walters
catch
World.
up.
Mark's
Speaking
on.
of,
We're talking about Buc-ee's and how we need to watch your most recent video on Buc-ee's.
So Mark probably just missed, although you were talking to him. I don't know what you've told him about our trip. But yeah, we're
Oh, I thought you were going to tell him about
down.
the wine we're drinking.
No.
It's delicious.
I'm just filling up.
Okay.
We're heading down southward, and then westward.
South and then west. Yeah, so we're heading over to Utah, Mark, and Gonna be doing some fun stops along the way, maybe. But we are kind of keen on avoiding people along the route, so we'll try to do it socially distanced as much as possible.
That sounds so sad. We're keen on avoiding people.
We're keen on as few people as possible.
We don't want them.
But yeah, no.
But no, we're just trying to keep everybody safe.
Yes,
because
exactly.
unfortunately, like we're realists. Like Derek and I will not be vaccinated by then.
Yes, unfortunately.
And so we want to be as responsible as possible.
And luckily though, all my grandparents by the time we go will be vaccinated, so that's pretty cool. And feels good. So, you know, when we stop in Phoenix to see my grandmother, she will have been vaccinated, which is really nice. We'll still try to be distanced and stuff, but that is something that'll like at least give me a lot of like, you know,
I'm also hoping
relief.
That if I get to see my best friend, I actually haven't been able to talk to her yet because funny enough, she's hiking in Sedona right now with her parents. So I haven't told her yet because we just booked this yesterday. But if I do get to see her, because she's a flight attendant, hopefully she will have been vaccinated by that point too.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we're
Eric, you're so funny. Who likes people anyway? It's gonna be so weird once we all can start traveling again. We can like go to a hotel bar and sit next to people and talk to them and be like, "Where are you from?"
Which is me. That is me. I do that.
Yeah.
I'm that person.
Derek talks to people on airplanes.
I talk to people on air. Wait. I follow social cues.
Yes, I know.
If they put their headphones on or clearly don't want to make eye contact, you do you, bro. I'll sleep too. It's fine. But you know, if they engage with me, then that's their own fault. So
funny. That's funny. Keen on avoiding people. That's how you got your meanster reputation.
Yes. I'm just gonna lean hard into that. You know, just like Scrooge.
We have 2 puns going on already. Meaningful travel and the means to get there, and then we'll add a third, and we're just mean about it.
And we're just forget about it. No. So
we love people. We love talking to you guys.
Yes. Eric Brown, that is funny. All right, so Ronnie Dub says, was doing some research today and found $1,200 tickets from DFW to Auckland in September.
Nice.
Oh, that's really cool. That's like a good deal. I would do that.
Yeah, that's a really good deal.
In September, you just need to, as long as they're open.
I saw Sam from the UK post in Walter's World, I think it was like yesterday, that he booked travel, or no, maybe he just booked a hotel in Sydney for New Year's because it's like refundable, and so it's like, why not? Hopefully by New Year's, Sydney will let him in. Australia will let him in. Yeah. I was like, that's you know, start looking at things that are refundable and see what you can do.
Yeah, Mark, I leave people alone on the plane, but if they want to talk, I'll talk to them the whole flight. That's kind of what I am. I kind of do like that, hey, what's up? And then I see if they engage. If they seem open to engaging, I will then engage. But I'm not going to be like, hey, how's your day? What's up, my friend?
So basically, if Derek and Mark sat next to each other on a plane, they would just be talking the whole time.
What's up? What's up? Oh, hey, you know.
Hey, you like travel? Ronnie says, I'm thinking about doing the same thing. Plus, I went to do Europe, but first New Zealand and Australia are on the bucket list.
Nice.
Yeah, love it. I would love to go to Australia this year. We're not probably going to be booking stuff, but I thought that was a smart thing that Sam was saying. Like, I mean, if hotels are refundable and they're affordable, start planning those types of things, I guess.
That's legit what we did, right? I mean, we talked about it. Like, the reason why we've booked something now in Utah is that it's refundable 100% until Feb 1. Yeah. So for us, it's like, all right, there's no downside. We found a place that we like, and the price is within our acceptable budget. So let's book it, and if we have to cancel it in the next few days, we can.
Yeah, and they say that they have fast internet there, so we could live stream and talk to you guys still, which was a bonus, because not everywhere said it. And it's so funny, like a year later, that they're still not really posting, not everywhere's posting like what their Wi-Fi speeds are and stuff like that.
But, But again, I do agree with Megan though, where she says, "Yeah, you're seeing that hashtag. That's a good hashtag, Mark. I like it.
I'm gonna start this hashtag.
I'm gonna start putting that on all my Instagram posts." But Megan Morris,
no, he'll just comment in all of Walter's World's Instagram posts.
Who's this random dude in Mark's post?
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, so Megan Morris, though, is pointing out that, New Zealand and Australia are unlikely to allow people from the U.S. in until 2022. But again, if it's refundable, go for it, and just get the refund as long as you understand the T's and C's around that, which is nice. And yeah, I mean, that was like a major place that we were looking forward to, was heading to Australia, because obviously it's a massive place. It's a huge bucket list item for us, and would knock a continent off of our list of places to go to. And they were gonna be putting in nonstop flights between Chicago and Brisbane, so that was gonna be really cool for us to be able to see that. And that was supposed to be a 2020 trip that we wanted to do. Now we're not sure when it's going to happen.
Yeah. And Mark's saying
we'll
that he is thinking that New Zealand and Australia would likely be until 2022. We'll see. Yeah. I just saw him post it again. Anyway, so and no, I did not give a side eye to Derek about New Zealand. I don't think. If I did, I'm sorry, babe. But I would love to go to New Zealand.
Oh yeah, I want to do the
really
zip line stuff that they do and everything. Like my aunt and uncle went to New Zealand way back when, and they did the bungee jumping into that cave complex or whatever. And that was supposed to be really cool.
Oh my gosh, Thomas, I didn't see that. He said he saw that Norwegian Airlines is quitting long haul, so all the transatlantic ones. We have a friend who flew Norwegian all the time because his girlfriend lived in Norway. So, yeah, that's going to be a huge blow. We should call him. We should make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, Chicago, there's a big wide world, so Chicago to Brisbane would be a huge flight. Yeah, it would be quite long. I love long flights, though, people. I'm a huge fan of the U.S. to Asia flights and stuff. I think it's great. I love the idea that I can go to sleep, wake up, and still have hours to watch movies
all
and stuff.
All of his movies.
Because that is where I binge content on flights. That's how I get my.
There's an opportunity cost for him that doesn't exist for me. And if he needs to sleep, he's so upset that he can't also watch the movies. And I'm like,
but then I can't drink beer and watch movies. What are you talking
right. About? So he loves doing both. He loves sleeping, he loves watching movies, and drinking alcohol. So all three things, not both. But those longer ones, Derek gets to do all of them. The shorter ones he doesn't. He has to choose.
Yes. Yeah, that's sad. So that's why going to Europe. I mean, it's not long enough. When I went to Singapore, I was just this is an amazing flight. Because first you're doing a freaking long haul flight to Japan, and then you have a long flight to Singapore, and you're just this is great, this is awesome. That is my cup of tea.
There's a Big Wide World asks, do we watch the YouTube channel Danager and Stacy? They're New Zealanders and putting out lots of content. I do not. I do.
Let's check those out. I love Kiwis.
I subscribe to another New Zealand YouTube channel, but I haven't heard of that one even, to be perfectly honest. So
yeah, we'll have to go check them out.
Yeah, we'll definitely check that out.
We are always looking for new people to check out and model ourselves after and take notes, because we can always do things
We're
better.
trying so hard to make our content better and better. And
the one problem that we have...
In a weird way, watching other channels and seeing what other people are doing can really help us learn and become an even better channel. So it's just really cool when you guys recommend ones that you like, so that way we can go watch and see what all the fuss is about, what you like about them. So yeah, thank you.
Eric Brown Eric Brown accidentally deleted There's a Big Wide World's message when he was trying to delete his. I don't have a way that I can fix that on our end, unfortunately.
But it says
But it was just the Chicago to Brisbane would be a huge flight, which
Yeah.
it is. It's a big flight. So Ruth is making a point, which is that even with the vaccinations, people still have a 5% chance of getting COVID. So just still be careful, wear a mask around people, etc. Socially distance. So yes, and that is why, even when we see my grandmother, we don't plan to actually stay with my grandmother in Phoenix, and probably, just see her outdoors or at least distance and whatnot, even though she'll have been vaccinated at that point.
Totally.
So Megan Morris is saying that it was super inconvenient to get a refund for Japan tickets that she booked through Air Canada and ended up having to call Amex and have them do it as a chargeback. And I do know that Thomas Reiser mentioned that Air Canada has been the worst on refunds. So
That's interesting.
be careful, people, and maybe think twice about Air Canada bookings.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Eric Brown, hashtag Australia 2023 for me.
Nice.
I love the rhyming. Very nice. Very well done, Eric.
Yeah. Maybe we'll join you. That sounds fun.
All right, so Megan Morris says, yep, as of 1/26, if you travel abroad, even if you are vaccinated, you still have to get a COVID test to return back to the United States.
Yeah.
Yep. Vega Bonnie says, on the plane, I wear a hoodie, set up my geeky hanging foot hammock, wear my Let's Talk About Politics and Religion t-shirt, negative conversation magnet, and watch movies. That's beautiful.
That's an incredible travel uniform, by the way.
So
but I've
good.
seen the foot hammock thing, and that's cool.
Sorry.
I don't have one, but I think I saw it for the first time on Travel Tips with Lori, that channel. And I had never heard of it before, and I was like, whoa, that's brilliant. Because, if you're flying in a seat that doesn't recline a lot or whatever, having, a way to elevate your feet can really help with circulation, can just help with comfort. Yeah, good stuff.
So we usually, around this time of the year, we would be going to the Travel and Adventure Show in Chicago, Illinois, which is a great time and highly recommend it in most years, obviously not right now. But, it's a great time to go and check out, booths from around the world and different, tourism boards and stuff come and they put up, they have their people there and flyers and all this other stuff. Rick Steves is always at it and giving talks. Usually Samantha Brown is there as well. They've had... who's the big Discovery dude? Josh Gates. Joshua
was
Gates.
There last year.
Was there last year, which was super cool, and I actually really enjoyed his talk.
Yeah.
So they have all these people giving talks about, how to become a travel photographer or Europe through the back door from Rick Steves and all this other stuff that you can kind of listen to and whatnot, which is phenomenal. And we have multiple pictures with Eliz and her legendary, she's a super fan of Rick Steves. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. And
although we didn't tune into Rick Steves did a talk last night or the night before, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I was working, so I couldn't tune in. I was very upset.
So one of the things I saw there, though, which I thought was a really cool travel accessory last year, is the plane caddy that they have, which hooks on to the window shade thing. You put up your shade, I think halfway, and it latches on, kind of like a cup holder.
Yep.
And it has space for your phone and
I think it had a cup holder.
I think it might have had a cup holder. It looked really cool. I was like, that's a great idea. I would totally do. Because you think about it, it's I don't know where to put that stuff, and I'm always afraid of I just know it's not sanitary to stick in the pocket and all this other stuff.
Well, the other thing is let's say you bring a bottle of water or something, or a coffee onto the plane, and you need all of the space for your laptop, or you just want it up because you want to sleep and your knees and all that thing. Having just a cup holder on the side if you have a window seat would be really nice. So it was the kind of thing though that you have to have a window seat in order to use it. So I don't know, if you're buying a basic economy ticket, that probably wouldn't be a good thing to bring because you only have a 1 in 3 chance of having that. So
there's a big wide world. Says, oops, Daniger and Stacy are stuck in New Zealand. I thought it was Daniger as well, but apparently it's Danger.
Oh,
his name is Dane, and his nickname was Danger as he played rugby.
Huh.
Danger. That's fun. Okay, we'll still check him out. Eric Brown says, I can't wait to get a really good camera, but to that will help improve my channel and quality.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We ended up having to get like a couple cameras for me to really feel good. Ooh, was that your neck?
Yes.
Ow, no, don't do that again.
Crack.
Yeah. But yeah, we have the GoPro, our phones, and then my vlogging camera.
So I mean, what do you think? I mean, you've now edited multiple vlogs.
Yep.
What do you think of the video quality that comes out of, the different types of cameras now that you've had a chance?
Great question.
Let's help Eric.
Sure. Hopefully other people care, but sorry if you don't. Sound quality wise,
GoPro sucks.
All of them suck.
Doesn't suck, but like not great.
Yeah, I ended up having to buy like a lavalier microphone that plugs into my phone to record almost all like sound on the go. And I'm sure a lot of the more popular travel bloggers use really cool external microphones and stuff like that, and just expensive ones, which hopefully we'll get to someday once this channel gets bigger. And then GoPro's great when it comes to filming. Derek said this on the channel before, so I don't feel like I'm saying anything super new, but like it's great for filming more discreetly. So like if you're boarding an airplane and you kind of just have it like this, or if you're in a store, similar.
Yep.
And then out like if I'm actually like talking to myself, I'll use my phone or my vlogging camera. Talking to myself. Oh my gosh, talking to the camera. / myself.
She has full-on conversations, like two-way. I don't get it. It's like,
yeah, but the GoPro,
hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you?
Aspect ratio is different than what we need for YouTube. So we have to be very mindful when framing the shot.
Yeah. That
it's just a little bit trickier when you're using the GoPro.
I will say, if you don't have a GoPro yet, the new one does have like so you can actually see what you're framing as you're like pointing it out at yourself. It has like the screen facing you, and that would have been huge to have had that while we were doing things. Like when we're holding it up like this, I'm just like, we're talking, and I'm like, I hope we're in frame.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wide angle, so it's probably going to get you, but it would be really nice to actually see what I'm framing as I'm doing it. So that would have been nice.
Yeah, especially in the car, if we're like filming ourselves talking while we're driving or something like that. It's like, well, I hope that worked.
But I will say, honestly, like if you look at a lot of the vlogs that we've done, we use these quite a bit actually to film a lot of our vlog content.
Especially when we're trying to be discreet.
Yeah. So we use like our camera phones quite a bit with lavalier mics. I would say that, Eric, I would highly recommend getting a lavalier mic because those are super helpful to picking up much better sound quality than what you would get otherwise, especially with masks as those continue to be a thing.
I can't remember if it's in the description on this video, like the live streams, but it's definitely in our travel vlogs. A link to the Rode lavalier mic that plugs into my cell phone.
Yeah, that one's been great. But yeah, so hopefully that's helpful, Eric. I don't know if it is, but those are our 2 cents about it.
Yeah. Oh, Eric,
oh,
that's so sweet. Thank you. Let's do the wave and then answer his question. Wave time! Woo! We haven't done the wave in a little bit. Thank you, Eric.
All right, so Eric Brown says, what do y'all think about the Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III? Whew, it's in my Amazon cart, but can't decide if I should pull the trigger for $650.
Great question. So I was looking at that, and I was looking at the Sony RX100 when I was shopping for the two. I love our Sony, and the only reason why I chose Sony is because Derek shoots with Sony for his photography, and we wanted to stay within the same ecosystem. But a lot of people use the Canon, and it's a really, really great camera. So
and now we have 2 of them.
Yeah, we do have 2 of them.
Because Eliz bought one, and then like immediately thereafter, not immediately, but like a year after, they came out with a new one that actually has an external microphone jack in it, which this one did not have.
Yeah.
So starting with the 7, they actually have an external mic jack, which is super important if you're trying to capture good audio quality.
Yes, so
So
definitely.
she likes this one.
Whatever version of any camera that you buy, if you're going to be shooting video, make certain the camera that you get has an external microphone jack. And I made that mistake, and just the audio quality was not strong enough for YouTube, in my opinion. So I filmed a lot of like my Travel Tip Tuesday videos with this guy and an external microphone plugged in.
Yeah. And then, you know, the reason why we kept this and didn't sell it is because I love this thing in terms of having a discreet little camera that you can take with you on like a travel trip or something like that.
For your business trips,
As
it
if
makes
I'm
sense.
if I'm like traveling for work, I can't take my big camera. Like this little thing is tiny. It like can fit in my pocket basically, and I can walk around. If I have like a meeting in Europe or something like that, I can still take this and take good pictures, which is really cool. And this thing will even shoot manual.
Yeah, I kept being
that's really
when
cool.
I got the other one, I was like, Derek, should I sell it or do you want this? Because I'm going to sell it if you're going to tell me that you're not sure. And he's like, keep it. So
and then Corona hit. And
Yeah,
I was like, well, I'm not doing any work travel, but oh well.
Yeah. Hi, Mary Ellen, by the way. Welcome.
Mary Ellen Dillon, what's
no
up?
worries about being late. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for being here. We really appreciate having you here with us. So, but you're behind, so...
So Mark was saying he's not a GoPro fan. He tried to use one on a Brazil trip, and the B-roll was just crap. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know which version you use, but like we've been told that ours, which is the Hero 7 Black, was supposed to be like really good from a stability standpoint.
The 7, I don't know which one you have, but the 7 was the first one that had that built-in stabilization functionality, like to that degree. So I know that was considered like a massive step up from 6.
Yeah, so I'm gonna answer Mark's question in 1 second, but yeah, it's interesting how different versions of different cameras can have be beneficial or not for video. So here's our microphone that we're using for this for this live stream. I'm like trying to be super careful because otherwise you're going to hear it like a beep, 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 beep.
It's like a little giant lucky rabbit's foot.
Yeah, and that's the external mic that I even brought with us to Europe, to the UK, and we film all of our live streams with it, and it's a Rode Pro Plus. There's another word in there. Let's see if it's on here. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. It's actually in the description on our videos.
Yeah, so that thing's great, and it's got the whatever it's called, like fuzz buster or whatever those things are. So like the wind hopefully doesn't affect it quite as much.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That
nice.
I had to buy that separately actually.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So we use that. We use the lavalier though a lot. Like if we're like Mark, we would love to hear what you do because your video sound is usually pretty darn good.
Oh my gosh.
And we're always like, how does it sound so good?
I've been trying to. I've been watching so many of your videos, Mark, just to figure out what you do. Because I'm like, how does he edit his sound to not have, like, wind or background noise and stuff like that? And I don't know if it's... I know that Mark uses a different program than I do, so I don't know if maybe whatever program he uses has a better sound editing software behind it. But, man, I'm jealous of you, Mark Walters.
But you do a great job with all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, he has a question about the Sony
into the
stuff.
microphone jack.
So all right. So Mark says, "What do you do for the external mic with the Sony? My Sony."
His Sony doesn't have a microphone jack, and so I bought a Sony vlogging camera that has a microphone jack.
Yeah,
and that's how we film.
So starting with the Sony RX 107 or whatever, was the one that has the microphone jack in it. Otherwise, I think like my Sony.
And then we also have, we've been filming our travel vlogs. I've been using that lavalier mic that I mentioned a couple minutes ago. That's like, I think it's like $60 on Amazon, and it's a Rode mic.
Yeah.
But
and like the 6500, like my bigger one has like a mic jack and stuff as well.
Yeah.
But I do know that there's ways that I know people do this, but I just need to figure out how it actually works. But I do know that some people like actually like film their their voice on a different program, on like a totally
You
different
can.
program. Like maybe on their phone, they're using their phone to record, and they have their lavalier mic hooked up to this, and then they do their little like click thing to like you know when the sound starts and you start going.
Yeah, so I've done one video on this channel like that. It was the video I filmed in a hotel room in New York City, and it's where I talk about the like how to pack for New York City in cold weather. And so that one I filmed on my phone using a lavalier microphone, and then the camera was separate, and I just had to start with being like, you know, like a director's cut, you know. And then I started filming, and I had to sync it together in post-production. But it was certainly a little bit more work than usual, so I've tried to work around not doing it that way.
But if you don't have a way to like hook up a mic and stuff, like that might be the best way to do it, right? And get the sound that you want.
Yeah.
Rather than, because using the native audio pickup on like a phone or the camera is just, especially if you're outdoors and you have a lot of like background interference, is not going to be as good.
But now I've been watching different things. I can't remember what we were watching with your
Mike
family.
Martinez, what's up? Hello.
Mike, welcome. We were watching something with your family, and I was like, how are they doing the sound? I'm trying to, like, I can't remember what you were there though, and I was like, I can't figure out. I can't see a microphone. How are they doing this?
It's magic.
Oh, we were watching that's what it was. We were watching a show on the cooking channel with the person's last name is Simon or something like that. And
He's the Burger Brews guy.
Yeah, they were filming outside in his backyard, and it was during COVID, so it was like his daughter was like filming with with her iPhone or something like that. And I was like, but the sound quality is amazing. Like this is professional sound. How are they doing this? But Thomas, thank you so much. Thank you guys. We haven't done a wave in a while. We're so happy. Thanks, Thomas. If you have a question that we can answer, we can answer.
It's like
no.
Just getting up and down.
Our quads are so in shape right now. We're in like month 9 of COVID, and our quads are on fire.
We do have a gym like right over here actually that we get to use.
We're staring at gym equipment.
For the next like 3 weeks that we're here and not on the road, I'm gonna have to like be using that.
The wave.
But thank you very much, Thomas. We really do appreciate that.
We appreciate you too. Thank you so much for joining like every single week.
Yes.
It's amazing.
And it's been fun getting to know you all.
It's been fun getting to know Thomas and everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, sound's important, like Mark says, and that is the one place where, you know, I think Eliz notices that, you know, people can be forgiving about a lot of things, but sound is very tough. And people are not as forgiving about sound, so you know, we always are going to be striving to improve.
I've been serious about having at least passable audio since my very first video, because my very first video, every comment that I've gotten for the most part is that it was too soft, too quiet. And so since then I'm like, okay, people are going to be very forward if my sound is not good, so I need it to be at least good.
Did somebody sound our video?
I don't think so. Everybody's still chatting with us. And thanks, Mark, for asking all these great questions. Said, I gotta go make Saturday's video. Big hug to everybody. Thanks, Mark. And hopefully it's the don'ts of Athens, because I voted for that.
That's what I voted on as well.
Great. We didn't even coordinate that, did we? So I think that's still working. I think our video is still going.
Yeah, I think so. Guys, if it's pausing for you guys at all, just let me know. Sorry. You know, it looks like it's now working, but mine had shut off on me, so.
And Eric says when my audio is bad, I just do a voice off.
Voiceover.
Oh, voiceover.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had to do that. We are still doing that for our UK travel logs and stuff. And honestly, like just voicing over B-roll because the background noise might be difficult or something like that. So we're figuring it out.
Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed our latest Kent vlog, travel vlog, because we both did some voiceover work on that one. I really tried hard. And you know, hopefully you guys liked it because you know, it takes some work, and we like putting them out there for you guys.
Yeah, Darian I think says he does that as well. I don't know, just I think some of you guys just maybe got kicked off, and I'm so sorry. I don't know why. Yeah, buffering and freezing off and on. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Just press refresh if you can hear us. I don't know why that would have all of a sudden started happening. Chris says he loved the Kent video. Thank you. I'm working on the day 2 of our Kent trip, like little mini road trip, where the day 2 is solely in Dover. So hopefully you guys like Dover, because that one's going to be the next video, travel vlog video to go up. I'm probably going to post, you don't have to watch it because you guys know us, but I've also created a new like welcome to the channel video that's likely going to go up tomorrow. So that one's just describing what means to travel is, which is basically like you guys. So but you'll see that one come through real soon. Now it buffers. Eric says no issues, and he said now it buffers. Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. Nothing's changed on our end to our knowledge.
In fact, it still says good quality.
Yeah, it says excellent connection. But it's also circling, so I'll maybe refresh on here and see what happens.
It's funny because when we do this, it's like we run speed tests, and it's like so much faster here than it ever was basically when we were in the UK.
I know.
And yet in the UK, we had like good streaming luck versus here.
So really it says our speeds are good. I can rerun this, but it says excellent connection, good speeds, but buffering. Wah. Sorry, everybody. Hopefully you can just press refresh and then it goes again. Musings and Midlife's on. Hi.
Hey, what's up, Musings
I had the
and
video
Midlife?
on the whole time, just listening while I was working on something else. Rough week.
Oh.
Good to hear everybody's voices. Oh, we are so glad that you've been on, and sorry that you've had a rough week. That's a bummer. It sounds like you and Ronnie are just trying to get through it. Lori says, just cut me out to Sunday live show. Ugh, sorry guys. Especially because so many of you were already on that. Now it's back. Okay, well hopefully, if you just press refresh, it's going to keep going for everybody. But if not, we'll try to cut it short soon. I don't know if maybe all of a sudden somebody else in the neighborhood like started streaming 7 things at once, or...
Somebody's got Twitch down the street.
Yeah, somebody else is live streaming next door. Your dad just got on a Zoom call for work or something.
Oh, man. Probably not. But...
Yeah, no.
All right, so if you can see us, though, we really appreciate...
Reconnection successful. Let's see if YouTube reconnects us now.
OBS issue?
I don't know. Excellent connection now. Again. So it said it disconnected us, like... Okay. I'm so sorry, you guys. Oh, Mary Ellen says that we're back. Okay, so there's a point in time, and thank you all if you're still on. We love you. There was a point in time where it said that we were completely not still streaming. And we see these like line charts on YouTube about how good our connection is, and it went like plummeted down to 0. I don't know. But now it says that we're good, and you guys are giving us good feedback, so let's keep going. Yay! Yeah, there. You can see us there too. Okay. Good stuff. So anyway, I don't know if you guys could hear us before, but we were very happy to see that Laura from Musings at Midlife is on, and thank you for saying hi. And I'm sorry that you're having a rough week. It sounds like Ronnie was having one too, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a tough week for a lot of people.
But just glad that this was only temporary and we can still talk to you guys.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's get into some stuff though. Like, you know, I'd love to hear from you guys, you know, in terms of, 2021 as people start thinking about travel and whatnot? Or is there anybody else who has trips coming up that they want to talk about or have questions about things? I do think that road trips will continue to be, a big part of travel here in 2021, and would love to hear from you guys if you guys have any questions about it. I mean, we obviously just did a massive road trip through the UK, and I think we learned quite a bit of things on that trip. That we'd love to share.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback on Lori's comment super quick. She says she keeps checking her speed test and it's been dropping. I didn't even know what a speed test was until we started live streaming on YouTube. And so I had been running one while everything was buffering, and ours only dropped a little bit. So I don't know what happened because it's definitely still high enough to stream.
Yeah.
So if this happens again, let us know immediately in the chat, and we'll start refreshing things, and hopefully things will work out.
Yeah. But no, again, we would love to hear.
Yeah,
all right,
to what Derek said, we'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about for 2021, and how can we help you, and how can we chat about travel and share our passion.
So Ronnie Dove says, besides Missouri in March, more than likely we'll be in Pennsylvania in October for a wedding and maybe DC at some point this year. Oh, very cool.
Nice.
Pennsylvania, very fun. October, it'll be a little bit chilly. DC at some point this year. DC is a great town. I love going to DC, and we have a number of friends that live out in DC and stuff, and you work around the government and stuff like that.
And since you follow Walter's World, you totally know this already, but anybody who maybe is still listening who doesn't, I don't know. But Trip Hacks DC has an amazing channel if you're researching DC, you're trying to go there, that's the spot to do your YouTube research on.
Yeah. And we've been a couple of times, since college and stuff, and it's a great place for photography and whatnot. I loved it.
Yeah. There's this one, Derek did a sunrise photo shoot at the Lincoln Memorial one morning. Of course, I slept in because and he made friends because this was pre-COVID, and Derek talks to people, and
as we've been over,
but he made friends after this person apparently shot a photo with Derek. So in it, yeah. And so Derek's the only person as a silhouette in this photo, where he's taking a picture, of the reflection pond, and it was so magnificent. And it's funny because he was like, "Hey, I met this guy. I can't remember what his name was. I'm sure you do." He's like, "I met this guy when I was out taking my sunrise photos, and we hit it off. We talked about Sony cameras and stuff like that." And we go to his Instagram page, and a day later, he posts this picture with Derek in it. And I was like, "This is a great photo. Can we please have this?"
So it's a fun one. So, Muse in Midlife says, I'm hoping to get out more for more backpacking and camping than last year, but no big trips planned yet. A week of backpacking at Isle Royale National Park at the end of August, but that's it. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, though. A week of backpacking.
That's cool.
That's
okay,
really
so
neat.
Isle Royale is the one that's in Lake Superior, and you basically have to take a boat or a plane there.
A boot?
No, a
boat.
boat.
Oh, a boat.
But yeah, it's close to Canada, so it's a cool one. I haven't been, but I remember we were looking into it a lot when we were trying to decide if we were going to go to the Upper Peninsula last summer.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But then it closed, and so we were like, I guess we're not going to go.
But we're not really big backpackers, so we might need to come to you for advice about when we try to do backpacking.
Yes.
So. Thomas Reiser says he booked Europe for June and December and Alaska for August. So that's going to be awesome, Thomas. Hopefully things are back up and running by June for Europe. August in Alaska would be really cool. I'm not sure if you're doing that via a cruise. I feel like we've talked about this in the past, but I want to go to Alaska for a cruise real bad. That would be an awesome way to see Alaska.
I also want to go to all the national parks in Alaska too, and you can't quite do that just in cruise form. So I feel like, I mean, I'm so jealous of Thomas's trip next summer. I just want to go to Alaska.
Yeah. Megan Moore says, I booked Mexico for February of 2021. Since it was so easy in 2020, not sure if I'm going at this point. We'll see how things go after 126. Yeah, numbers are getting pretty bad, and Mexico has a pretty bad rate. So, just as long as you're being safe. Chris Frank, I have vacation planned for a trip to Paris and Normandy, but the travel agent has not released the dates from the wait list. Okay. We love
what are
Paris.
the dates?
Chris, we love Paris. We've never been to
doesn't, though? I mean,
I don't trust people who don't love Paris.
Yeah, if someone was like, you know what? I don't love it.
Paris is awesome. Love it. Normandy we've never been to, but we do want to go. That'd be a lot of fun. We're not really champagne drinkers, but I would definitely do a champagne cave if I was going up there.
Do they have champagne caves in Normandy?
Isn't that by where Champagne is?
No.
Never mind. I do not know my French geography, I guess. I thought they were close.
No.
They're both north.
Champagne is kind of like northeast.
I'm looking this up.
Yeah, please.
You go on to the next one.
Thomas says, booked Europe for June and December and Alaska for August. Yeah. He's traveling.
We already did that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that. And then Laura says, unless the airlines open up, then yeah. Oh, wait, no. So you did. Why did you highlight all these things? Know. Okay. Sorry. Derek moved around too much.
No, we didn't do Muses and Midlives before.
Oh, so she's looking at Paris and Florence for November and December. Fingers crossed. That would be really cool. That's a good time to go. We've been in Paris in November. And it's, we went in early November. So the leaves were kind of still on the trees, but it was like this still fall colors. It was very cool.
All right, guys. I do not know my French geography because Champagne is basically northeast of Paris. It's basically east of Paris.
If I go to Normandy, I want to go to Le Havre. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it because I'm terrible about butchering French. But there's so many great Monet paintings from there. And we had actually booked a hotel at that in that town a while ago, but ended up not going and changing our plans to include going to Giverny instead. So
Giverny
we still
was very
have
nice.
to go to Normandy someday.
Yeah, Normandy would be cool. I would go there, definitely. Okay, what else we got? So, Darian is saying, I will be traveling to Dallas in a couple of weeks, visiting with the Finleys.
Yay!
Very cool.
So exciting.
Also, I have a Germany trip booked for September and working on booking for December.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people are going with you, I think, in September.
Got to make up for that lost time, Darian.
We would be super interested in going too. If we don't feel like with work schedules we can get to a point of committing to September yet, and I feel like it all booked up already.
Yeah.
So.
Megan Moore says, I will be in Europe the first day they let us in. Very cool.
That's so great.
I feel like that's a good, I just want to,
yeah, it's like...
say that. I was there as soon as they let us in.
Yeah, I was on the first flight. But I am with you, Megan. That sounds great.
And Darian says, and of course, as soon as Germany opens up, I'll be on the very first plane out. Nice.
Totally.
Lori says, Darian, will we all see the Finleys while you're there? Yep.
I'm
gotta do a live stream while you're
there's going to
there.
be either a live stream or a video. Otherwise, I mean, it's a waste.
Chris Frank says, I did DC in July. Great for the fireworks, but the weather is hot and humid, which it is. Because don't forget, DC is basically in the south. It gets very warm down there. I mean, it gets hot up in New York, and that's quite a ways north.
Yeah, the humidity is
rough.
Powerful.
Yeah. Eric B says, I'm so disappointed we got blindsided on the Mexico news right when I started getting excited.
I think I've missed this Mexico news, so I guess we're not allowed in.
I think it's that their numbers are really bad.
Yeah, so I just don't know who made the call. Is it the U.S. or Mexico?
I don't know. We've been more focused domestically lately.
Yeah.
Ronnie Dove, I love every part I've seen. Got to see Washington and World War II memorials last time. Want to see the Lincoln and Jefferson still for D.C. Yeah, no, I mean the memorials in DC are pretty phenomenal. I think that the reservoir is really nice. If you can make it there for cherry blossom season, that is a phenomenal time to go. Especially if you can be there for the cherry blossom like festival, the actual festival piece of it. I don't know if that's happening this year because of everything, but you know, in other years and normal times, that is a phenomenal time to go to DC and very picturesque.
Katie's saying that she is still like on the docket to move to Guatemala in April. So hopefully you can get like vaccinated here before you go. But I can understand why you'd be nervous about moving during the pandemic. I actually didn't realize that you're in Arlington now. So you're in the same time zone as us, which I was totally picturing you still in California. So thanks for letting me know that. But she's saying she needs to check out Trip Hacks DC. Yes, great channel just to learn about all the cool things to see in DC. And honestly, he's been posting different videos now about like what's going on, like with travel to DC and stuff. So, yeah, just a great channel if you're considering going to that destination. Eric says Alaskan cruise is high on his bucket list. Totally. And okay, so Katie's asking if Mexico's closed right now. And she said no, still open. You just have to get tested for all international flights coming to the U.S.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Coming from the U.S. Sorry.
Coming into the U.S.
Oh,
which we knew that one.
So yeah, that would be kind of probably hard to track down a test when you're in Mexico. More problematic. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's tricky.
Yeah, that's a bummer. We actually, when we saw that news originally, we were very happy that we came back when we did, because I mean, that would really stink to like get caught up in a test and then like have to like extend.
Well, especially because in the UK they enroll that you need to get tested within, you know, I think it was like 48 or 72 hours or something like that before coming back to the US, and they announced it on Christmas Day and it went into effect on December 28th, and I'm like, if we were still there, that would have just blown up the last 3 days of our trip, because we would have needed to figure out how to do it quickly. So yeah, we're very lucky.
So Katie Smith says, I need to check out Trip Hacks DC.
Yeah,
oh, the Guatemala.
Okay, yeah. And I already read to there.
So Eric B agrees that. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Maybe head down to New Orleans. Have you done that one?
No, I haven't.
Okay, Ronnie Dove says maybe head down to New Orleans as well. Want to do a lot, including going to Pride's Bar from NCIS New Orleans.
I want to go to New Orleans so bad. I was actually looking at Airbnbs there and stuff, because
it's just a little dense.
Yeah, so a lot of the things that we wanted to do there were more people focused. So
beignets, I just want to eat beignets. Let's be honest, I'm on keto. I can't eat beignets. So.
But yeah, it's just a little
bit
more people heavy in the activities that we wanted to do. So we will go there though, because I have never been, and I am dying to go to New Orleans.
But for me, you know, culture and food are so just like linked together in my mind and my soul, that like I can't go to a place like New Orleans and not like eat the food, like po' boys and beignets and gumbo and like all that awesome Cajun food. I can't do that. So another time.
Yeah, and I was even looking at like Airbnbs on the north side of Lake Pontchartrain. Is that what it's called? But we couldn't make it work.
I know I said that the last class was my last class, but this is really tasty wine. So, Thomas Roser says he's doing the Alaskan Railroad and not a cruise this time. Oh, yeah, okay, so you're going to do the railroad up through, like, Canada and stuff? That's really cool.
Oh my gosh, I just read what Eric said. He said Neil from Two Travel and Tour hates Paris, and every time he says it, I'm like, why?
Neil and I can't be friends, though.
Yeah, that's, we don't trust him anymore. We just, I mean...
I'm sorry.
He's not here to defend himself.
He's not here to defend himself, so we can say whatever we want.
That's craziness.
But that's nuts. I love French food. I mean, escargot and duck confit and beef bourguignon and like all that. Oh, so good. Steak frites. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just want to eat it all.
Okay, like food, culture, art, beauty. All exist in Paris.
Fashion.
fashion.
Eliz loves buying clothes in Paris because they fit her better.
Yeah, well, I mean, probably where Neil's from, Amsterdam, and that would be the same thing there too, because it's just the way European sizing works.
Actually, big news on Amsterdam came out that the mayor of Amsterdam wants to make it so that tourists cannot partake in coffee shops anymore.
Yes, I saw that.
The coffee shops where people can get marijuana. So that would be actually major news and would actually curb quite a bit of tourism in Amsterdam. So I'm interested to see how that actually goes, because the idea is that they want to try to, cut back on some of the like lower budget type tourism that happens. That's really around that, that culture of the coffee shops, and so it'll be really interesting. Yeah.
I'd still go, no question.
Oh yeah, no, we've been I've been to Amsterdam, I think like 4 times, and I've never, I've been there 4 times. I've never been to a coffee shop, but I would still totally go, and it'd be cool if I didn't have to deal with like the rowdiness that kind of encapsulates the red light district.
Totally, especially like when you're walking out of Amsterdam Central. If you choose to walk from Amsterdam Central to your hotel, if you're staying within the Canal District or something, gosh, you pass by so much route any time of day. So that'd be kind of nice.
Ronnie Dove, their brother lives in Alexandria, Virginia with his fiancée. Very cool. Marilyn Dillon, not sure whether Ireland will happen in June, but have cruises booked in November and December. Very cool.
The cruises, once everybody gets vaccinated, which I certainly hope is before November, December, you probably will be okay on that one. Yeah,
I mean, I would do a cruise. She's not a cruise person so much, but I would do one.
Yeah, I've never done it. It's just that I haven't prioritized cruising over visiting destinations straight up. So
yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm not a cruise person. I'm just it's not what I prioritize.
All right, so Darian says, I highly recommend visiting Normandy while you're in France. I have been there several times, and it never gets old. So much to reflect on there.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I'm assuming you're meaning the actual Normandy D-Day memorial type stuff.
Yep. I mean, I would say Normandy has a lot to offer, not just with regards to Normandy, like the beach of Normandy for World War II type history,
Omaha
but
Beach
also
in
Omaha Beach and all that stuff. But they also have a lot of stuff with regards to, the Normans and William the Conqueror and all that kind of stuff. So even for Anglophiles, there's a lot of stuff to see and do there.
Yeah. Laura says, from Musings at Midlife says, I want to see Paris and Florence all lit up for the holidays. I think you will. I think if you get to go, then it certainly would be lit up. Paris is lit up in a beautiful way a lot during the year. It's just they do such a good job with lighting in that city. But I don't know if you're gonna see Christmas lights as much as you'll see holiday trees and different white lights around and stuff, and that'll be super pretty.
Bonnie, thank you very much for saying that the IG picture from Bristol with the leaves is stunning. Thank you so much. Yeah. I really like that picture.
Derek loved Bristol. Okay, so there's this one. This always happens to us, right? We went to Bristol, and our number one thing to do in Bristol was to see the bridge that is in every picture
the suspension
of Bristol.
Bridge, yeah.
And then we didn't go.
Gotta go back.
Now we have to go back. Now we have to go back.
Yeah, no, that was a bummer. What I would say though is that we saw a lot, and what I ended up doing was I knew that we only had one day to really walk around Bristol. So what I did was I said, all right, what's the biggest concentration of stuff to see, and we just planned our trip around all of that. So we got probably 90% of the stuff to see around Bristol. I'm concerned about our connection.
Is it disconnecting again? You guys, I'm so sorry if there's any sort of connection issue.
But it might still be on.
Yeah.
It might just been my phone for some reason.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So there's a lot there. Bristol is cool, and we ate some nice restaurants there. There's some really nice restaurants there. So I'm getting that somebody says that New Orleans on keto is a no bueno.
Mm-hmm.
Megan Morris says that, so thank you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We're gonna go when Derek's not on keto, and when we can like go to a jazz club.
Jazz would be awesome. Jazz Fest would be cool. It's a massive festival. That'd be really fun. Thomas Reiser is not fond of Paris.
Thomas!
But he's only transited there.
Okay.
So he's never actually visited.
Sure. I could see, like, if you've only been in the train terminals, stuff like that.
But Paris is a lovely city. I really do think so.
We'll give you an itinerary, and then you gotta go.
Yeah. So Megan Morris says that Cancun has already set up airport rapid tests for people going to the UK, and no positives have been reported. But keep in mind that it is a fraction of the people leaving for US or Canada. Interesting. Megan Morris says, since they are so dependent on tourism, I have some confidence that the Cancun area will try to get airport/resort testing in place by the time we go. We shall see.
Yeah, that's interesting that Cancun's taking such an initiative. I like that. Ponch train, correct. I was so close. I think I added a syllable.
Thomas Ryder says, no between Seward and Fairbanks. Oh, interesting.
Oh, his train in Alaska.
Interesting. Nice.
I'm super excited to travel along vicariously with Thomas as he goes
that'll be really
on
neat.
the railroad in Alaska. That is an epic trip.
Yeah. And Eric B. agrees, no way you can do keto in New Orleans. All right, nice. All right, there we go. Catherine Hegarty, welcome, Catherine.
Hi, Catherine, welcome.
And Happy New Year to you as well.
Yeah.
We're so happy to have you here.
So for those of you guys, I'm just jumping in real quick. For those of you guys who weren't on the very beginning of this live stream, so we're doing 4 live streams in January, and the next one's going to be a week from Saturday, and then the last one is going to be the Thursday after that. So hopefully you guys can join, and it's Saturday at 11 a.m. In a week and 2 days from now. Gosh, what's the date on that? I should probably know this. 23rd, and then Thursday the 28th at 7 p.m.
Yep. But we have posts on that on the Facebook page and kind of all over the place in the community page on YouTube, so just go check it out there.
Yeah, because we love talking to you guys. Yeah. We hope you guys can join.
You now have a mailing list.
Oh, shoot, yeah. Well, I don't send emails yet.
But we should do that.
I could send, right now you're the only person on the mailing list.
I'm on the mailing list. Guys, sign up for her mailing list. But yeah, okay, so...
But somebody in one of the live streams, I think it was either the last one or the one before, told me to sign up for MailChimp, and I did because I listened to you guys. So now there's a mailing list.
I told you to sign up for MailChimp.
I know, but I didn't do it until somebody else said it because I love you and I'm sorry I didn't listen.
I told her this back in the UK.
Oh, it sounds like Katie's going. Bye, Katie.
Bye, Katie.
Thanks for joining.
Yep, thank you for joining us. Ronnie Dove says, I would still go to Amsterdam. No interest in coffee shops.
Yep.
Marilyn Dillon, I hope the cruises happen. It's a brand new ship, so it should be one of the first to go.
Cool.
At least I hope. That'd be awesome.
That's fun.
I'm interested to see how they, approach the whole, the dining areas and everything, if there is still COVID out there, how they do all that kind of stuff responsibly. That'll be interesting to see, because I know that was a big question people had, especially around the buffets that they typically have on cruise ships.
Thomas says area around Gare du Nord seems sleazy. Yes, I would not recommend staying in a hotel around there. And also Gare de Lyon, same. Basically, anywhere kind of near train stations, similar to what you might find in a New York City, is not going to be the best neighborhoods. Paris, though, the disconnection again. Reconnection successful. Okay, hopefully it's reconnected, and you guys can still see us and hear us and everything. But Roxanne is on!
Roxanne, bud. Hello.
Hi, Roxanne. Hi there. So glad to finally catch a live. Keep missing them. Better late than not at all. And that is so true. Hopefully you can hear us and see us as we say it.
Sorry, I don't know what it is, but later in the evenings, we always tend to have these issues with connectivity. I don't know if it's the neighborhood, messes things up or what.
Probably because I think the way that it works is like with Xfinity, like if a lot of people are streaming things in this neighborhood, it's kind of like a shared connection around. So there's probably a lot of Netflix going on.
Eric B, agrees Gare Nord is in the hood.
Yeah.
So just be careful.
So I wouldn't equate Paris with that area.
Neighborhood. Yeah, no, that's not. I wouldn't say like that is Paris.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying, like in London, it's similar to like, what's the train station that starts with a P? Paddington. It's kind of like being like, oh, all of London's just like, well, there's a really nice hotel at Paddington, but
like I like Paddington.
The area is, I don't know. I guess Gare Nord's probably a little bit.
Yeah, sketchier.
Maybe more like staying around. Well, there's. I'm bad with analogies on this one.
It's like thinking that Chicago is Gary, Indiana. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, Chicago's a great example actually, because Union Station and Ogilvy are not great neighborhoods.
It's kind of like that. And Catherine doesn't like Paris either. Oh no, all these people. But she does love Brittany, and Florence and Sermoio and Lake Garda. Northern Italy, also my go-to places to visit. Very cool.
Well, Thomas, I'm gonna create an itinerary for you. If you ever someday don't go to just Gare Nord and Gare Leon, then I should create an itinerary. Okay, so I'm thinking, what if to incentivize people to sign up for a mailing list, I like create a little Paris itinerary or something. That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be fun. And you've been
I
many
can
times.
use some of your pictures and just put them in there and be like, Derek took these.
There we go. So Catherine, though, was saying that our town started giving out vaccines for over 65. Once we register and make an appointment, fingers crossed, we can start traveling sooner than later.
Awesome.
Very neat. I was talking to my mom about this, and how my grandmother's actually getting hers, I think in the next day or two, out in Arizona. And it's like, she lives in this community where it's all these older, people that are eligible for vaccines at this point. So, like, her entire community, everybody that she talks to and interacts with is eligible for vaccines. So it's kind of cool that, in the next week or two, theoretically, like, that community should be back to about as normal as it gets during COVID. So that's kind of a cool thing where I'm like, oh, she'll get to, like, go play pickleball and, like, all that cool stuff. So that's pretty neat.
Thanks, guys, for the feedback on this, by the way. So it sounds like Ronnie's game for itineraries, and Lori Sims says she'd like to see itinerary ideas on a mailing list.
Yeah. And Tom Schreiser likes to stay at Paddington Hilton.
Yes, I know that. And the Paddington Hilton is actually beautiful. And I don't blame you whatsoever for doing that. There's also a Hilton at St. Pancras, too, I believe. That's really nice.
So Darian says, take it from me, I will never drive in Paris again. I did it back in 2019, and it was an experience, all right. LOL. So, yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
Derek can relate.
So
Where did we rent the car at?
I don't remember.
It was at one of the train stations, but it was like a smaller one, I think.
It was a smaller train station. We
like
found the one like
Montparnasse train station.
Maybe it was Montparnasse. But we rented a car in Paris and drove. So what we did was we like to do these things where like we'll fly into a place like Paris, do a weekend there, and then we'll go somewhere else, and then we'll come back and do another weekend there before we fly back home. So what we did was a weekend in Paris, drove down to the Loire Valley, did the Loire Valley for like the week, and then we came back to Paris for the weekend. And that was awesome. That was a great trip. But driving in like those cities in Europe is terrible, and I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. It's not fun. Like, I remember driving into Milan.
I had a great time because I didn't have to drive.
It's like when I was driving in Italy, we were doing like Milan and all this stuff, and I just remember like when we drove into like Turin and Milan and everything, and you're dealing with all these Italian drivers who are nuts. It is way more stressful, and it kind of gets to you. So I don't like driving in cities in Europe personally.
It sounds like you and Darian can like bond over your your shared experience of driving.
Darian does love driving in Germany, and driving on the Autobahn is different. I mean, you have to understand like the rules and the signs and everything, and how like those like uncontrolled zones work and everything, and you have to be very mindful of other drivers to make sure you're not gonna get into a wreck. But yeah, I've heard awesome things. I was talking to a guy like a year ago, basically. There was a group of people that I was talking to at a dinner party, and they had all gone to Germany the like a year or two prior, and they rented sports cars to drive on the Autobahn. It was like Morris and them.
Oh.
And what they were saying...
Those people.
What they were saying was, like, it was a lot of fun and everything, because they were in, like, these, like, crazy souped-up sports cars driving around on the Autobahn. But what they learned was they got, like, one car for every 2 people. And they were like, if we ever did this again, we're doing this 1 car per person, because it is not fun to be the person in the passenger seat when somebody else is, like, driving like a freaking nut job. They're like, yeah, we were all
so
almost
funny.
sick every day.
I can relate to those passengers. No,
hey, come on.
Derek never drove like a nut job.
Driver.
When we were on the North Coast 500 in Scotland, though, there are so many like super windy areas that also the elevation changes the whole time. Like you're going up and down hills. That I was nauseous on so many road trips.
Yeah. So Thomas is telling us that St. Pancras is a Marriott property.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, I'm getting it all wrong. It's been too long. I've been away from the UK too long. Bring me back.
So Eric B is saying take me home tonight.
Take me back.
Eric B is saying I stayed at the Hilton by Shepherd's Bush Station. Very cool.
Oh, nice.
And then, so even in the cities and small towns are a blast to drive through, according to Darian. Very nice. One day I'd love to fly to Prague, get a rental car, and just drive through 6 different countries. Eric, I agree with you. Let me know. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a blast.
I'll ride in the back seat.
Like Prague, Budapest, like all that stuff. Like that is like huge on my list of places to go.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I wanted to go there this last year. Like
yeah, we wanted to do that Prague, Budapest, Vienna trip that we've mentioned before on this channel. It'll happen someday.
Big Wide World says, I always say that all Italian drivers drive like they're auditioning for Formula One, and that includes the bus drivers. Yes. When we were driving in Italy, I was like, everybody thinks they're freaking Mario Andretti, and they're not. And I just remember we were driving up, we were actually going to turn back in the car to fly back out of Milan, and it was raining like crazy that day. I don't know if you remember that, but it was like coming down like nuts.
Oh, how could I forget?
And like couldn't see anything. Like visibility was terrible, and people were still riding my bumper. Like I was being tailgated like crazy. I finally pulled off and was like, "We're just gonna wait. I don't care if we're late."
The passenger / navigator, my role in that situation is to basically tell Derek, like, you're doing fine. Don't pay attention to them. Don't follow what they want you to do. Just drive the speed limit and drive safely, because like it was just not safe conditions with how heavy it was raining, and so we would not, like, there was no way that we would have been comfortable with driving faster than the speed limit in that weather. And sometimes drivers just need to hear that, because otherwise they're getting those other pressures.
I need that. You're doing okay, Derek. You're doing okay. But yeah, I mean, I would say Italy is one of those places where it's like, if you really do need a car in certain areas, like we were in Piedmont for quite a while, and if you're doing Piedmont for any amount of time, you really do need a car.
Have to have
if you didn't have a car, you'd be kind of
I don't even see how you could do anything in Piedmont without a car, unless you're only going to stay in one town.
Yeah, so I mean, there's certain things that you have to do. If you're only doing the major cities, though, if you're doing like Milan and Rome and Siena and stuff, you can easily do that with no car, and I would say don't do a car.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to like try a Vespa or something like that at some point in time, you could probably do that. But like I would not get a car if you're doing like the major cities. I would do train transportation or buses the whole time.
Lori says taxis will scare the blank out of you in Italy and Paris. So when I was in Paris, oh my gosh, it would have been 2019 fall, and I was trying to get out to Versailles for I was trying to get there when it opened, so that way I wouldn't have to wait in line. And all of a sudden, the RERC that goes out there decided that they were going to have construction that day, and not the subway line just like literally wasn't going to run. So I was like, oh my gosh, if I try to get out, the way that I need to get out by the train, I'm going to be like 2 hours late, and then I'm going to have to wait forever. So I decided, okay, I'm going to suck it up and pay like the 40 or 50 euro Uber to get there, which expense, by the way, budget for your unexpected expenses. But it was worth it. But that driver got me there so fast. It was like, I went from, I was in, right by the Pantheon, staying at my hotel that I like right there, and then all the way to Versailles in like 25 minutes. It was crazy.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah. But it was cool too, because like he could tell that I wasn't from France, and so and he had very broken English, but he was like pointing things out to me as we drove. So he's like, this is this is the, it's like we didn't have like big conversations, but I was like, oh, it's like a little tour.
Yeah, Catherine Haggerty says, Eliz, you should try Ring of Kerry. The roads are tight, twists, and turns.
Yeah, I can imagine it's very similar to the west coast of the North Coast 500 in Scotland. Yeah. I actually can't imagine it being worse. I really can't.
Yeah, because it's pretty intense over there. Yeah, Eric B. is saying it'd be a great trip. Love Prague. Still need to do Budapest and Hungary and Vienna as well. Very cool, very cool.
Yeah, great trip. Okay, we're coming with.
So Musing Midlife. I drove from Florence to This is the word that I always mess up the name of this place. San Gimignano.
Where is it? Highlight it for me.
I drove from Florence to San Gimignano.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. For an overnight trip was definitely interesting, but really fun to see the countryside that way. Yeah, I agree. And some of those things can be awesome. And I think driving from Florence to that place would definitely be cool, because that's supposed to be a really cool town, San something, because that's supposed to be like that's like the towers, right? That's the city with like all the different towers, which is supposed to be really neat from a architectural standpoint, and like it was like the original skyscrapers and stuff. Each family had their different tower. It's very cool.
By the way, Iggy's on, and it's so late there in Torre Don Jimeno.
Torre Don Jimeno.
Thank you for joining, and good night.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Eric
Tengo buen
B.
sueño.
says, haha, I had no...
Tuvo buen sueño. How do you sleep well? I've lost my Spanish abilities with all the wine I've drank.
I would just say, buenas noches. Eric B. says, I had no issues in Prague with my Ubers, but maybe it's just the countryside. Interesting.
San Gimignano.
Gimignano is how you... Alright, San Gimignano.
Gimignano.
San Jimmy. If you want to go to Jimmy. Yeah, no, that is a place I would love to go to, though, in the Tuscan hillside. We've actually not spent a lot of time in Tuscany. We've done more time in Piedmont. We did a little bit of time in Florence back in college.
And Siena.
Florence, Siena, Rome. That was kind of what we did then. And then when we did the last time, we really did Piedmont, Milan, Turin, and Lake Como was what we spent most of our time at then. Mm-hmm. We had a wedding that we went to in Piedmont, which was really cool and an awesome experience. What I would say is, somebody, I think it was Bonnie, mentioned that she was not a fan of Turin. It's one of her least favorite places she's been to. I think Eliz would probably agree with you on that. Turin, I'm glad we went to Turin before we went to Milan, because I would totally have said, like, if we'd gone vice versa, I'd say, like, why'd we do this? Because it's just, I appreciate Turin from, like, a historical standpoint and understanding the historical significance that Turin offers, being that Turin is actually the place where, like, the king of Italy came from and whatnot, so that, like, there's, like, real historical significance with the city. but Milan and everything since then is just like so much bigger and like grander and whatnot. So if you're up in that region, like I would recommend most people go to Milan. I don't know.
Iggy says que descanses. I think that means basically like you drunks. I don't know.
All right. Bonnie says, yes, traveling through the Chechnyan countryside was sketchy. So she said it was like hills have eyes vibes. Woof. That would. Did you say woof? Or you say woof?
I did.
Woof. That's rough. Eric B, these Thursday night chats are so much better. I'm 75% asleep in the morning chats.
Yeah.
But we're glad to have you even if you're snoozing.
That's great feedback.
Yeah.
People sleep in our morning chats. We don't want it. We don't want that. We're excited to be trying out Thursday nights again. We're very sad because we miss like a lot of the European contingent with these times, but we also feel like it's just a fun time to have like a happy hour chat with everybody.
Plus, then I can just keep drinking.
You can have the rest.
Look
I'm
at
probably
that.
done.
That was the force. Maybe it wasn't.
I'm probably done. You can have the rest. But don't have more than the bottle, because that's crazy. We have to slow cook a chicken tomorrow.
Oh, that's true. We're slow cooking a chicken tomorrow with paprika and
Other things.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to chop up a whole chicken for the first time. That'll be fun. I've never taken a
Derek's mom's going to teach us what to do because we don't know. We don't know what to do.
But yeah, no, it should be fun. Be a good time.
Yeah.
We've got some bone broth to add to make it
I don't know
nice
if she's
and
still
moist.
listening. She said hi from upstairs like 2 hours ago, so.
Yeah. Yeah, so Muse and Midlife is talking about San Gimignano and saying that it's a great little town. It's a big tour bus stop, though. So what you should do is you should go drive there, stay overnight, so you're there when the tourists aren't there. It's really cool. And
Right.
she says there's an amazing gelato shop there. Let me know what that place is, because I will add it to my Google Maps as a place I want to go to. So please shoot that over to me. I'd love to put that down. If anybody's looking for one in Florence, Gelateria Caraya on the Ponte Caraya
Derek
in
discovered
Florence is
it.
phenomenal.
He's taking all the credit.
I didn't found it, but I will say that I went there before it ended up in Condé Nast Traveler, and it was delicious. I went there before the airlines. Coincidence? I don't think
You're
so.
like the gelato hipster of Florence.
Yes, exactly. So, Big Wide World says Milan is basically the major Italian city now. Most businesses are based there, and that makes the city really interesting. Yeah. We were actually there the year that they hosted the World Fair. Was that what it was?
We
the
went
World Fair?
Oh gosh, what was that? What was that year? 2015, I believe.
I don't know. Whatever year they hosted the
and so we
World
went
Fair.
with our friends. That it's another couple that we're very close with.
We met them in Como.
We met up with them.
We met
in
up
Como.
with them in Lake Como. And
Yeah,
then,
we met them in college.
Yes. We've known them for a long time.
And so we met up with them in Como, and then we all went to Milan together. And one
awesome.
of them had already been to Milan and was like, I don't know if I really like the city and stuff like that. And then when the four of us went, we had such a phenomenal time.
And our friend who had been there before was like, this place is great.
Yeah, she was like, wait, this is not where I went.
This is so much nicer than I remember.
Yeah, and so we all just had like the best experience. And there's no real like huge tourist spots where you're like, it doesn't have like an Eiffel Tower. It doesn't have a Colosseum.
It's just a very European town.
Yeah, and it has like a oddly like Parisian feel with uniform type architecture.
Well, a lot of people
like
say
that
about
in terms
Milan,
of like the apartment buildings and stuff.
Well, a lot of people say about Milan is that like the architecture and like the city has like the vibe of like this could be like any town Europe, like any town USA type of thing. It's like that's what Milan is to Europe. Where you're like, if you told me that Milan was a German city or a French city or whatever, it's like, yeah, okay, yes, yeah, I get it,
yeah.
I get it. Like Spain, like it could be like this city. If you picked it up and put it anywhere else, you'd say it fits.
Because it's very multinational.
Yeah. It's very cool.
It's a great city. And you can find some great Italian food, but you can find some great everything food.
Sushi and all that kind of stuff. So, If you're going to Italy, though, I would highly recommend that you look up kind of their happy hour specials that they have there, which is pretty cool because usually the way it works, or the way it used to work, I think it still works this way, is you like buy a beer basically, and they give you a plate, and you get to go to the buffet and stuff. And so like there's ways that you can really get some good cheap eats in Italy as well, and kind of figuring that out before you go, so you know what to do is pretty cool. I took advantage of that quite a bit as a college student, but I would still take advantage of it now.
Yep.
And when we go back.
I know that, I think it was Bonnie said a couple of minutes ago that Turin was one of her least favorite places that she's been to. And I have to second that, really.
Yeah, I said that you'd agree with that.
Yeah, it's just, like, if you're going to be in that area of Italy, like,
just go to
Milan, the Lakes District, Piedmont.
You mean Como? Not the Lake District. There's no such thing as a Lake District there, is there?
Yeah. No, there's other lakes other than Como.
Oh, do they call it that too?
I mean, they don't call it the Lakes District, but like it's like the lakes. It's
Okay.
definitely called the Lakes because. Give me a moment. Un momento, por favor.
You own a book?
I own a book.
She has a book.
Milan and the Lakes. So anyway.
Now we know. But yeah, no, I mean, I would highly recommend northwestern Italy is really
yeah,
cool.
you can just maybe bypass Turin unless you're like have business there.
Yeah.
Lake Garda, Italy. Yep, it's beautiful. There's a couple lakes. Let's look at a map.
Oh Lord.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, there's several lakes. Anyway, we'll do it later. We'll do it later. Okay, you can see.
You talk to the people.
We brought that book with us to Como. You're like, there's other lakes?
There are.
Yeah, but Catherine says Lake Garda is one of the largest lakes in northern Italy. It is. You are correct.
Excuse me, I think it's called Lago di Garda. Lago di Garda.
Derek's looking at maps now.
Looking at maps.
There's a Big Wide World says, I have family in Milan and have been going there since childhood, so that helps with knowing where to go. Lake Como is my favorite part of northern Italy. And
So
we know why. It's gorgeous.
driving into Lake Como. Here's me driving. It's very windy roads, steep drop-offs, and Eliz is like, "It's so pretty." Don't look. It's so pretty. Don't look.
Don't look.
And I'm just driving like, I want to see pretty things too. So I will say,
babe.
that is the one thing if you're a driver, kind of sucks.
Yeah, but we're not good at like reversing the roles. Like I'm definitely the best navigator, and Derek's definitely the best at like being the driver.
Yeah.
I'm a fine driver. It's just Derek's not a good navigator.
In fact, she might be a better driver than me, but I'm such a bad navigator that it outweighs any benefit we get from her being a better driver.
I'm so glad you're drunk enough to admit that.
Excuse me, that's not true. I'm a way better driver. Yeah, so Big Wide World says only 30 minutes from Como. By
Lake
train
Lugano in Switzerland. Yes,
Yeah,
I want to go there. It looks beautiful. I've seen a lot of pictures.
that's very cool.
Stunning train trip around the two lakes. I bet.
Yeah, I would love to go to Switzerland for like vacation. I've been there
Yeah.
twice for work. I've never been there for like fun travel.
I've
so
never
that'd be
been
awesome.
to Switzerland, period, and it's a huge point of like contention for me because there was this one point where like Derek and I flew to London together because Derek had all these meetings, but then like in the middle of the London trip, he last minute had to fly to Switzerland for like a night for work. And we did so much trying to get me to go to Switzerland, right? Like we booked we booked like me on a plane. I think it was probably the same plane that you were on. So that way we could share a cab and like minimize the expenses. And all that happened like super last minute. And then his meeting got canceled or like rescheduled or something like that. And I was just like, are you serious? So then we had to like I think British Airways had like a 24-hour cancellation policy.
Yeah.
I think we canceled at 23 and a half hours. And so I didn't get charged for that plane ticket, but it was just one of those things where I'm like, I'm never going to get to Switzerland.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to do that then. But at the same time, we were supposed to go to LA also the following week, so there's
And
a
that
lot
didn't
of stuff.
happen.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff get canceled.
Yeah, a lot of stuff got blown up on the same day. Yeah. Back when Derek like had work travel.
Yeah, back when there was work travel to be done. That doesn't happen so much anymore.
I love Switzerland. It just works.
Nice.
Yeah, you could set your watch to it.
Yeah, I mean, funny. No, I'd love to spend more time there. I mean, the chocolate is freaking awesome. Even like the airport chocolate. Like the airport chocolate, you're like, this is amazing.
I hear the cheese is good too, but Derek's only brought me chocolate, so.
I don't think you want me to bring you melted cheese.
No.
Raclette? Raclette's good. It's not my favorite food, but it's good.
Chocolate was good. I'm not complaining.
I'd much rather do a fondue than a raclette. That's my opinion. But but yeah, no, I mean, Switzerland's really cool and it's pretty and gorgeous. So I'd love to spend some real time there. Germany. I mean, we've both. I've been to Germany for work. She's never been to Germany. It's another point of contention. But I'd love to go there as well.
I could probably make going to Germany work if they open back up.
Yeah.
Like now it's like, well, once things open back up, I can start prioritizing all these places that are like really high up there.
Well, like Germany was like on our list. We were supposed to actually go there in March during the time that we were in. We were supposed to go to Cologne while we were in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And originally that trip was supposed to be more of a Netherlands-wide trip where we went beyond just Amsterdam. And because of COVID, though, and the numbers that were happening at that point, we decided to not do Germany because it was pretty bad in Germany and the Cologne area. And then, right before we went, it was getting pretty bad in other parts of the Netherlands, especially in the south. So we decided just to stay in Amsterdam the whole time. And then we had to come back early because of everything that was happening. So, we're still very blessed that we got to go to Amsterdam back in March, like right before the U.S. border started like shutting down to everybody else. But it was, definitely supposed to be a different trip than it ended up being.
Yep.
So, Catherine Hegarty says Liechtenstein is... Liechtenstein. I like saying Liechtenstein. I know it's probably not right, but whatever.
Somebody might say it that way.
Is close by between Switzerland and Italy. View of the Alps is
I hear Liechtenstein is really expensive as well, as what Bonnie's saying about Switzerland. But I would love to go to both. I think both sound beautiful.
Lovely. Yeah, I would totally go to
I'd
both.
probably go in the summertime because, like I've said before on this channel, I don't know how to ski. But if you do know how to ski, I bet it's a great spot too.
Wait, what? Lori, why leave Derek at home and just Eliz go to and hang out with Darren in September? Why do I stay home?
No, yeah, I honestly, I can't even tell you what our lives look like in September because, so our renters are, I think Darian's trip is like the second week of September if I'm remembering correctly, and our renters turn over September 1st, so we have to be kind of careful about early September.
Yeah, because ideally we're probably moving back home at that point.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we've ran through the live stream. If people have more stuff to do, though, we're happy to answer other questions.
Questions are cool. But we also have another live stream in a week and 2 days, on the 23rd of January. So if you have more questions come up in between now and then, definitely let us know. And thank you guys. I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for giving us great feedback. I know some of you guys are saying that Saturday and Sunday mornings are a little bit more challenging in terms of sleep schedules, especially because I know, the further west you are, the earlier it is. And also, like, I know that we want to keep at least something on in the evenings just because Derek and I enjoy these.
Sorry, Eric B. Questions are cool.
Questions are cool. So Derek and I really enjoy the Thursday night live streams and just hanging out with you guys, kind of happy hour style.
It makes me feel like I'm drinking with friends.
Yeah.
Instead of just drinking alone. I mean, with my wife, but alone. You know,
Right,
it's like I.
It's like, oh, we have friends and we're
It's a little bit
talking,
more
we're
social.
socializing,
Yeah.
we're talking about travel. So yeah, we're probably at least gonna keep Thursday nights in a regular standpoint. Keep us posted how Saturdays go. It seems like we kind of get a few different people in each time frame.
Kim M just joined us. Hey, Kim.
Hey, Kim, welcome. I think it might be joining at the end. Yeah, we were wrapping up, but if you have questions, like, we're still on. We can totally keep going. We're just seeing that a lot of the questions are we've kind of answered at this point.
Yep. But Kim, we're going to Utah, which is so fun to say, Utah.
And there's a big wide world says Thursdays our time are good. So Fridays midday is also good for them. Nice. Yeah, so okay. For anybody who missed 2 hours ago, basically, we announced we have booked a VRBO.
Verbo.
For
those in the know.
For Utah.
For basically the month
in February, March.
Thursday.
For a month.
Yeah, February to March.
Which would include a road trip to get out there as well.
It's a lot of driving from Indiana, basically Ohio, all the way over to Utah.
Again, that we've said before, we have about 2 weeks now to cancel if things change, because there's a lot that can change.
Gallivanting Gals!
Oh my gosh,
hey, y'all.
the gals are on. No, we can't go.
All right, we'll stay on for a little bit longer, definitely.
Okay. Sorry, you guys are all still
right,
on now.
We're keeping
we gotta
going.
Keep going. The gals are on.
All right, so we'll go a little bit longer. But, so what we are saying is that we are going to Utah. We were going in February. We're going to be there February to March, probably for about a month. We're going to do a road trip between here and there. So from Cincinnati to Utah. We're going to head south to avoid Colorado wintry storms and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so we're looking for things to do along the route. And we are also looking for cool stuff to do in Utah. We'll also probably...
Specifically, we would love anybody's recommendations about Arkansas. Because
Arkansas,
neither of us
we know
have
nothing
been
about
there.
Arkansas.
Yes. We've watched all of the Walters World videos about Arkansas. And that's all we know. That is as far as we've gotten.
Don't know much. Texas, don't know a lot about Texas. We'll probably be driving through Santa Fe and Albuquerque, trying to see some stuff there, because I really have wanted to see Santa Fe for a long time.
I wanted to see both for a long time.
Because I know Santa Fe is like the oldest capital in the United States, because it's been there for a long time. And, I just want to,
Yeah, so we love everybody's feedback on stuff kind of in that road trip. But
especially as relates to
Kim,
things that you can do socially distanced.
Kim M asks, well, she first says, Utah looks beautiful. It is. Nailed it. Tell me about VRBO versus Airbnb, any differences? So we've, this is actually surprisingly the first time I've ever booked anything on VRBO. We've done tons of Airbnb now, especially after being in the UK. But I've stayed at VRBO properties before for bachelorette parties, but I've never been the one that, back when people had those, but I've never been the one that's booked it. So this was our first experience booking. And the actual search process is different. Especially probably now with COVID, they've made it very front and center. That you can select the cancellation policy that you're comfortable with. So I only looked at properties on VRBO that you were able to cancel 2 weeks out, because certain owners are allowed to select cancellation a month out or over 60 days out or something like that. So I immediately narrowed it down before even looking at anything to the ones that are 2 weeks out. And that, in our experience, at least with booking things in the UK, was not the case with Airbnb. And we're barely comfortable with 2 weeks out right now. So we're very grateful that that even existed at all.
Yeah, because like our whole thing was like we're right now, today is the 14th, right? So we're 2 weeks away from New Year's and people likely finishing up their holiday type travel. So for us, it's like really been important to see kind of how the numbers evolve over these next little bit of time. I see you, Bonnie.
We see you, Bonnie.
I just want to finish my point real quick, which is so this is like that time where like, okay, we kind of feel comfortable booking something, but things could change over the next week or two, so we like having that flexibility. But Bonnie!
Yay! Thank you so much. I don't know. We should watch back some of these and see if our waves get worse and worse throughout the year.
Probably. Bonnie,
how late
can
you go? How late can you go? Thank you so much, Bonnie, for your super chat. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we can keep talking as people are still here and asking us questions. I mean, there's more people on than there were like 15 minutes ago. It looks like so.
Yeah, very cool.
Clearly, you guys want to hear about our Airbnb booking experience. We can talk about it.
Yep.
Or VRBO.
Verbo, as they call themselves.
Yes, I'm sorry. They say Verbo in their commercials.
I don't like it. I don't like Verbo. I like VRBO. I don't know why. I don't like Verbo.
It sounds like the word verb with an O on the end.
It's like somebody tried to make the word verb Spanish.
Wait, let's not say too much about them, because what if they're like, we want to sponsor them? And
wait, but if you want to sponsor us, Verbo, we will take it.
We like your stuff. We like your cancellation policy toggles.
Actually, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That really is really cool. So.
Oh, I'm sorry, because I just wanted to say one more thing to that, and that's I feel like in certain destinations, Airbnb, you're gonna find more stuff, and in others, VRBO, you're gonna find more stuff. And specifically, at least in southern Utah, VRBO had more that kind of fit the profile that we were looking for, which I thought was interesting. And it seems like owners are more interested in, oh gosh, yeah, your hair just popped up, didn't it?
Just doing like a little alfalfa thing.
Owners seem to be more interested in, I guess, listing on certain sites than others, depending on the destination that you're looking at. So from this experience, absolutely within the continental U.S., recommend looking at both sites, because you're going to see completely different offerings on different sites. So.
Yeah. Okay. So what I will say though is that regardless of what you do, Verbo or Airbnb, typically if you do a longer stay, you can get some sort of discount. We got a pretty decent discount, I think, from VRBO or Verbo, whatever you want to call it, because we did a month stay. I think it took it from like. It was probably like a 30% discount.
Yeah, I think it was maybe like
40.
I think it was like 20% off. I don't think it was like as significant as we'd got in Portsmouth in the UK, which was 40% off for doing the month stay, which basically got us an entire week for free. We were like, oh well, now we don't feel bad spending the night in Dover and spending the night in London with our friends, because we have an entire week basically for free. So that was cool. Gals say Arkansas has a lot of outside stuff, but it will be pretty rough weather when we're going to be there. That is good to know. We've been trying to look up like the average temperatures for the areas that we're looking at and stuff. It's going to be rough weather in a lot of places. That's another reason why we're looking at going as southerly of a route from Cincinnati to Utah as possible, for the most part. We're probably not going to go through El Paso at this point, but that's probably the most southerly we could do. But we're trying to avoid like Colorado. We're trying to avoid Kansas for weather reasons. But yeah, that's good to know that we should probably be looking into Arkansas weather too.
Musings of Midlife says she doesn't like Verbo either. She doesn't like Verbo because it's not gerbil.
I see that.
Okay, it's a forced rhyme, but I like it. Galvanizing Gals, though, says they need a list of places to stay on the NC 500 because they're going to be there in September.
Yay!
We were just there.
We can totally give you.
Okay.
We can give you guys. Okay, so you guys.
Gals,
you
number
guys
one.
missed. Wait. Let me
Wait.
talk. Let me talk. People were wanting to know itinerary information because I said that I had signed up for creating a mailing list this past week through MailChimp, and nobody signed up yet, which is fine.
I
other
did.
than Derek, because I haven't told anyone about it. And I was saying, okay, well, what should I do to like send out to people? And about a half hour, an hour ago, a lot of you kind folks said I should give some itinerary information. So I can maybe create like an itinerary including like hotels that we stayed at or something like that for the NC 500 and then send it out.
Okay, but for the Galvanizing Gals, because love you guys.
Sorry,
The Millview B&B in Ullapool.
Yes. Okay, that's a good point. If you're
Book
going
it
to be
now.
there in September, book it now.
Because that place fills up quick.
There's
like
only 3
all of
rooms.
Ullapool does. So get on that like now.
And book what room were we in?
I don't remember.
That was definitely the best room.
But we were in a very nice room in the Millview B&B in Ullapool.
And if you book it through her website, it is cheaper than is like £5 cheaper than booking it through bookings.com.
Yep. Other than that, I would say that the only other place that I would say was like a standout for us was and it kind of depends on which direction you're going, but like the Torridon is really nice.
Yeah.
On the West Coast.
It's
super expensive. It's very expensive, but it's very nice. So that might be something to look at. That's right around the Applecross area, the NC 500. That's kind of crazy. Otherwise, I would say in Dornoch, if you're going to stop in Dornoch, we ate at the Dornoch Castle Hotel. I would probably stay there because like the place that we stayed at wasn't that nice.
Yeah, so the place that we stayed at was
Eagle
fine,
Hotel.
but it was not.
It was very budget.
Yeah, and it's like the second best hotel in Dornoch after the Dornoch Castle. So, there was a big drop off after number 1. Yep. I would say.
Okay. But those are really the only things I would recommend. I mean, there's a lot of different things like Betty Hill.
Good night,
and
Chris.
whatnot.
Thanks for joining. Hopefully to see you next Saturday.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. Just shoot us a message though, and we should just have a call and talk about a bunch of stuff on the NC 500 because there are things to think about, including with a rental car, maybe getting like tire insurance might be something to do because there's a ton of potholes.
We ended up having to pay for the flat tire. We didn't tell you guys this.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be in the vlog either, so you guys will all know who's still on.
Amex does not cover tires, so that's a good thing to know about their insurance on cars.
I think it costs like £180.
It was like $200, $210.
Yeah.
Which grand scheme of things, like that's not going to kill us on like a 60-day road trip, but
it was unexpected because we thought that we had tire coverage between Amex Platinum and like the rental agency, and we didn't. So if you're like on a really tight budget, that would be a huge bummer.
Yep. All right, so Catherine Hegarty is telling us to go see the Golden Spike, which is the last spike to be hammered in at Promontory Summit, Utah by Leland Stanford of Central Pacific Railroad and Union Pacific Railroad, First Transcontinental Railroad.
That's cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, I'd go see that.
I think that's up closer towards Salt Lake than where we're going to be at. But that would be a cool one. I've never been to the Salt Flats in Utah, so that would be a fun trip. But that's kind of far from where we're staying, so I don't know if we're going to make it there.
Yeah, Eric B says October, I think I may see the Northern Lights. That's very cool. Up in Scotland, I think.
We did not see the Northern Lights, unfortunately. In Scotland, it was a possibility, and we didn't. So that was a bummer.
There we go. Galvanizing Gals. The squashies were a hit. Thank you so much. We're glad you enjoyed them.
I'm so glad.
I was bummed we didn't get to really say hi when we dropped them off, but Eliz was very much like secret agent woman, like
trying to be stealth.
throw it on like your like porch and run away.
I was trying to be stealth.
But yeah, no, we're glad you guys got those and enjoyed them. We tried them actually while we were in the UK and stuff, and they were like surprisingly pleasant to eat. They're very different, you know. It's a lot of fun.
They kind of like the closest thing I could describe is Swedish fish, but they're not Swedish fish.
No, they're very different. Catherine was saying, Mom and I thinking of doing a road trip to Oregon from New Jersey. Interested in following the Oregon Trail, Lewis and Clark Trail, reaching the Pacific Coast before we return home. Any tips? Wow,
that's so cool.
Trip.
Do we have any tips? We've never done that before. I've done New Jersey to Chicago. But that's where you start Route 66. It's not where you start the Oregon Trail.
Fly? No, I'm just kidding. So my tip for a long road trip is break it up. And I would say maybe even think about, if there's long stretches of things that you don't care about, try to do a longer drive followed by maybe multiple days in a place you actually do care about. That way you can kind of maximize your time, driving and relaxing. That's something I would think about. Think about how much time you actually can spend in a car driving around. Some people are much better equipped for that and, think nothing about driving for 12 hours at a time. But, really think about you and like what's right for you and your mother, if that's who's going with you. Because that's important to have like a good trip.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys are communicating about all that kind of stuff and like what's important to both of you on the trip. What are the types of sites you want to see? Because at the end of the day, a big trip like that takes a lot of planning and like perseverance to actually do. So make sure that you're both like really like tied into the itinerary.
Thomas Reiser, railroad knowledgeable extraordinaire, railroad master, says Golden Spike is northwest of Salt Lake City. Awesome. There's actually a really cool like railroad thing that we saw when we went to one of the neighborhoods in Salt Lake City. Remember that? We were like, it was like there's this outdoor mall, and then there was a railroad museum or something.
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah.
We didn't get to go in because it was closed when we were there. I think we went on a Sunday. Don't go to a museum on a Sunday in Salt Lake City. But yeah, there's some cool stuff to see for sure in Salt Lake. Okay. Thank you guys for asking. By the way, Catherine, you're a rock star because you're the first person whose last name isn't Zacarias to sign up for the mailing list. Awesome. But yeah, so it's at the bottom of every page on my website. So if you go to meansoftravel.com,
it no longer says.
It no longer says coming soon.
Coming soon.
But it's also kind of still in the works, so I'm not broadcasting it super loudly.
Yeah. So her website is still a work in progress. We're still working on things. I have a bunch of photos that I'm editing so she can get them up on her website and stuff. But there's a mailing list, and we can start actually putting stuff out like, hey, this is when we're doing live streams.
I don't have any mail yet to send you guys, but when I have updates and I have itineraries that you guys are all requesting, I will send it out.
And she promises not to just, fill in your mailbox with bull crap.
I don't have time to fill in your mailbox.
Bull poo. So it'll hopefully be good and interesting stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys like it. Let me know what you want. I can create kind of like a calendar of how I can get that out to you guys.
So Bonnie says,
Troy's on. Welcome, Troy.
Troy Stansel, how are you?
Late. Welcome.
We're happy to have you. It doesn't matter how late. So Bonnie is saying, though, we blew out a tire in France. We couldn't buy one tire. We had to buy two. Drove around France for a month with a tire in our back seat. We named him Tyrone. Rental company bought the extra tire from us.
Oh my god! Well, at least they bought
it
from
you. That's awesome
guys.
that they bought it from you. That's really great. Like I never would have imagined that they would have done that. So that's pretty cool.
I didn't realize rental cars, at least
Don't
the
come
ones
with
in the UK, because I can't speak to the ones in the US because I've never paid attention to it. But rental cars in the UK apparently don't come with spare tires, and I'm guessing it's because they probably don't want people to like change the tires and then do it incorrectly or something, and then cause more problems. But we were in quite a pickle, and thank goodness we had cell phone service where we broke down, or not broke down, but like where we got a flat tire, because if we hadn't, we would have had to
That would've
walk
been
a
rough.
very, very far, like very far distance. In the
that's-
rain.
In the rain, in the clouds. It would have
Yes.
been bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so Eric,
Thanks, Mary Ellen, and thanks, Laura, Musings of Midlife.
look at all those people
Look
that
at
signed
this.
up
I
for
have
your...
4 people on my mailing list. I don't have any mail yet. We're getting there.
Okay, so Eric B is saying, thinking maybe a 4-city European trip in October. Iceland and Amsterdam, probably. Definitely 2.
Love it.
That's really cool. Amsterdam. So if you're in Amsterdam already, and you're doing probably stopping over in Iceland, then going over to Amsterdam. I'm trying to think of where else would be like good places to go to. Well, you could stay within the Netherlands and see some of the like Rotterdam and some other places.
That's what we
Haarlem.
wanted to do in
Yeah.
March, was see
Cologne.
Rotterdam and Maastricht in the Netherlands, maybe even Eindhoven and
Eindhoven.
Utrecht.
I've been to Eindhoven for work.
We were looking at Utrecht.
Utrecht is supposed to be awesome.
But back in like mid-March when we were there, Utrecht and South had like higher COVID cases than Amsterdam did. So we just stayed in Amsterdam the whole time. Yeah, so.
Kim M just signed up and says the website is looking beautiful.
Thank you.
And Musings of Midlife says your pictures are in the website are gorgeous.
They're like completely unedited. As you can tell, Derek took all of them. But he still has to edit all the pictures on the website. So I just put them in as like, I just want this to be live. So he's
and she
working
wanted
on
to choose which pictures she actually wanted, because I sent her 300 potential pictures to use. And I was like, I'm not going to go through and just edit 300 pictures for you to maybe pick 7.
But I also wasn't like planning on overly sharing that the website's live now, because I have so many backlogged blog posts to put up.
And vlogs.
Yeah, because I haven't put a blog post up since last spring, because I've been working on the website since last spring. So, thanks guys for the good feedback, because part of me, like I am such a perfectionist at heart that like part of me is like, oh, I don't even want to tell people about this because it's not perfect.
Yes.
So thank you guys.
Yeah, Troy though is saying Ghent, Cologne, and Bremen. Yeah, all those would be great stops. Ghent would be awesome. Cologne was definitely on our list of places to go to when we were going to the Netherlands.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna go to Cologne straight from Amsterdam. Actually, Eric, that's a great choice. Because that way you can see another country, and I think it's only like a 2-hour train ride from Amsterdam.
And once you're in Cologne, then you have access to everything basically in Germany, right? So like you could continue into Germany, or you could do something else as well, kind of like what Galvin and Gals are talking about. Going from Cologne to like Frankfurt. So
Ghent is supposed to be beautiful. I still haven't been, but that's a town in Brussels that a lot of people speak highly of.
Ghent is, I've flown over Ghent, and I've like looked out from the plane, and it is a gorgeous looking city from like the sky, and everything that I hear about it is that's like got cool canals and like really nice. It's like a smaller Amsterdam kind of thing.
We've done the train from Amsterdam to Bruges, and we transferred in Antwerp, I think. That was cool too, in terms of like the 2 cities on our itinerary. We loved both of them, but if you can do something that doesn't require a transfer and is a little bit closer, still has great culture, that's a good choice.
Yeah, the transfer is actually a little bit stressful because there was very little time.
Yeah, we had 6
minutes. They were on like opposite sides of the train station, so like we had these like big bags, and we're like running through the train station. We actually had a woman help us that we met on the train, and of course I like to talk to people. So we met this woman on the train. She's a teacher, and she speaks English, and she loved talking to us because she liked practicing her English. And she's like, oh, you guys are transferring? And we're like, yeah. And she's like, where's your transfer? And she looks at our ticket. She's like, oh, that is a tight transfer. She's like, I'm gonna go with you. And she like grabbed a bag, and she was like running with us with bags and stuff. And we're like, I was just like, this woman's amazing.
She also told us what chocolate to get.
Yes, she's also
she
like,
was legit
you have to have
amazing.
this chocolate. It's the best chocolate. So. Thank you. I don't remember your name, but you were a godsend.
Yes, thank you.
And Bruges was awesome. And if you want to like get really excited about Bruges, watch the movie In Bruges, because it's a lot of fun.
That's true.
Have you seen the swans? They're beautiful.
Hamburg is a 6-hour train ride from Amsterdam. Also, look at the ferries from Amsterdam to Rotterdam that opens Oslo. Oh, I didn't realize there's a
Oslo would
ferry.
be really cool.
That would be really, really neat.
Yeah. So Galva and the Gals is likely staying here until April, May. Okay.
And then we can't wait to follow along on your adventures after that.
Yeah. I mean, you guys already have some like awesome, like very, very cool trips planned. So that's gonna be great. We will be traveling vicariously with you guys.
Yes.
Because we probably won't be in Europe at that point. So, Catherine is saying, I can drive up to 12 hours a day. My rule of thumb, usually I stop by 7 p.m. Have a good dinner and rest well. I've driven to Texas, Nebraska, Colorado, familiar with I-80. All right, so
that's
you're...
a great stance to take. Stop by 7 p.m. I like that.
Yeah. No, that's really good. And, what I would say about that then is really pick your places, right? So, like, pick places where you actually want to see, like, significant things and spend some time. And maybe stay, like, 2 nights instead of just, like, an overnight. So you can really make the most out of that and you get, like, a real full day of, like, sightseeing. When we did, like, the NC 500 and, like, coast, end to end through the UK and stuff, the thing that I thought was really nice was that, when we could stay for multiple days, it allowed us not only to get a good night's sleep, but it allowed us to also, actually see things and spend a whole day kind of like being a tourist in a location. So, that's kind of my recommendation generally. Obviously, like when you're doing a massive road trip like that, that's just, I mean, epic is the only way to really describe the road trip that you're contemplating is, when you can, the destination isn't the trip. It's really about the experience, the drive, seeing things. Obviously, you want to probably stop off and see a few like roadside attractions and stuff along the way, but finding those places and making those bets on where you want to really spend time, that's what I would recommend.
Yeah. So Eric says, Travel Adventures with Eric B says, I still need to get my global entry. How's the process? All I can speak to is the renewal process, which I went through right before we left for the UK. My global entry actually expires, I think in February. It was either this month or next month. But I renewed it early because I wanted to make sure that, all the I's were dotted and T's were crossed given the state of everything. And it went very smoothly. So I did it completely online. When I had to sign up for global entry, I had to go in and get my picture taken. So if you don't have it yet at all, it might be a completely different type of thing. But I was able to do this completely online. It's still in this thing because I haven't used it. I thought I would get it out. And I have my new card came to me. So it's still, I still have the card. Oop, tearing things off the thing. But yeah, it was super easy. It came while we were gone. I was here when we got here and had to quarantine. So yeah, everything went really smoothly. It wasn't like what you guys have been hearing about passports being held up for 6 months or anything like that. And they just used the same picture as I had a while ago, which is not a flattering picture. So yay, still have that. But yeah, it was very easy, and I got reimbursed by Amex Platinum.
Yep.
So it was completely free.
So Bonnie is saying stay at least 2 nights if possible. Avoid the one-night stands. Very funny, and I agree with that. There's something about like staying like that extra night that makes it when you're doing a long road trip, you actually feel a little bit more refreshed, upon like continuing on, as opposed to just like always go. You can do that for a short period of time, but you kind of sprint a long distance and then spend some time.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation. And Catherine, I hope that's helpful. Thank you.
The gals asked, did y'all do the Orkney Islands?
We did not.
Okay, so Orkney Islands were kind of off limits for us due to COVID. But I would recommend doing them if you get, and especially budgeting the time. But I'm not. We can definitely talk more. I'm not sure how much time you guys are budgeting for the whole trip. Generally, whatever you do, you're probably gonna feel like it's not enough. So like, that is what it is. But we did 2 weeks, and we still felt like there was tons and tons of things that we didn't see. So the fact of like adding Orkney Islands, we don't even feel like we would have had time to do that. So if you're doing like 3 weeks to a month of being there, then you're going to be totally fine to add Orkney. The ferry should work very easy. We actually could see the Orkney Islands from a lot of the places that we visited on the north coast, but unfortunately couldn't go. I think there's a ferry from Thurso. Does that sound familiar? Is that right? To the Orkneys? And then maybe also from Wick?
There's definitely ferries from Land's End.
No, Land's End is on the south side. The Orkney Islands in Scotland. You mean John O'Groats?
Sorry, John O'Groats.
Okay.
I've had a lot of wine, guys. Yeah, no, there's definitely a ferry from not from Land's End. That would be funny.
Don't listen to Derek.
No, there's definitely ferries from John O'Groats. Wick might have some ferries. Thurso, maybe.
Wick definitely had ferries
Thurso
to the Shetlands.
does, actually.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of options. Orkney and Shetland are both great options for places to go to off of the coast of...
We're close. Oh, reconnection successful at least.
All right, there we go. All right,
guys, I'm so sorry if it's cutting in and out. It's being a jerk tonight.
Yeah, so gals, though, what I would say about the NC 500, if that's what we're talking about right now, is depending on when you're going, right? So if the days are getting shorter, I suggest more time. Doing more time than usual, because the issue with that part of the country is that the days get short pretty quick. And if you only have like 7 hours of daylight, that doesn't give you a lot of time to explore beyond the drive.
They're going to have probably more like 8 or 9, but still. Yeah. Like, you do not want to drive in the dark.
Yeah. So, because then you're dodging red deer and a bunch of different things. So, my recommendation: spend a little bit more time, spend a couple days in different places, and really have an opportunity to see the places, see the locations, do the drives, have fun, etc. There's no reason to be just stressed about the drive if you have the time. Which
book
I think
all
you
of
guys
your
have
West
some
Coast
time.
accommodation now.
Yeah, start booking the accommodations now.
Because there's so fewer places to stay on the West Coast than the East Coast of the North Coast 500. Even the North Coast accommodations booked now. We just only stayed at one place on the North Coast, and that was the Betty Hill Hotel.
Betty Hill.
We recommend it.
Great bed.
Like, the room was great. The restaurant's
not that good.
Not great, but... Yeah. I mean, that's Scotland for you. Sorry. I love Scotland to death, but the food is not as good as other places.
My thing about that place is great bed. Food not fantastic, but it's fine. It's not horrible, but it's
Bye,
not good.
Catherine. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Catherine. Good seeing you. What I would say is first of all, when you're doing the NC 500, the first thing you need to figure out is the direction you're going. Are you going clockwise or counterclockwise? So from Inverness, do you head north or do you head west? My recommendation after having done it is head north, because you want to do the East Coast first, because otherwise the East Coast is going to be a bit of a disappointment having come from the West Coast, because the West Coast is definitely the more dramatic area. Like the landscape is just much more awe-inspiring and all that stuff. So if you're finishing on the East Coast, you're going to be kind of like blah. But if you start on the East Coast, it's actually really pretty and really nice, and you see Dunrobin Castle and all this stuff, and it's going to be really special and very cool. So kind of start on that, head over to the North Coast, and then head down the West Coast. I think that's the way to do it. I'm very happy that that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get a flat tire, that's probably where you need a flat tire. So you don't want that at the beginning of your trip. You want that at the end. So
yeah, we'll talk to you separately about this, but like maybe figure out where different garages are nearby in some of the places, because apparently flat tire is very common on the West Coast.
Super common.
They said that the garage that towed us on the West Coast said that between March and October, they had somebody with a flat tire from NC 500 every single day.
Yeah. That's a lot.
That they themselves towed. Yeah.
And they're not the only tow truck company in town.
They've employed 6 people, and this town was like 100 people.
No, it wasn't that small.
I don't know.
It was pretty small. So, again, it's very much an issue of, you might get a flat tire in the North Coast 500. Don't let that ruin your trip. Make sure that you have ways of calling people, that you have access to, cell data, etc.
Yeah.
We were very lucky in that, like, our place randomly had cell phone reception where we broke down, and thank goodness. But just be ready for that, be prepared, and understand that it might happen. But it was it was a great trip.
Yeah,
I say
no
that a lot.
regrets.
I say awesome a lot, but like, no regrets about the trip. It was a great time.
We also were in a small enough car that we were able to do the whole thing. There's certain peninsulas that don't allow like larger vehicles, so that was cool too.
Yeah, we were in like a small SUV, which was fine. There's like certain places where the like caravans can't go and stuff like that.
Or even like larger vans.
Yeah, like big. Like
yeah.
It had to be like a massive van.
Or bring Tyrone with you.
The spare tire, Tyrone.
Yeah, the spare tire.
Tyrone, the tire.
Tyrone.
Love it. So yeah, no. We could go on and on about the NC 500, but just give us.
We can give an itinerary of what we did.
Shoot us a message. We'll set up a more in-depth call.
And share it with my mailing list.
And based on that,
which exists now.
Eliz will make an itinerary.
I have a mailing list. There's 5 people on it.
But yeah, no. Scotland was fun. I had a great time with you in Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time.
Yeah, we spent a month there.
We did.
Yep.
It was great. A month to remember.
Mailing lists. Yeah.
And Galvin and Gals.
I'm not even like, I have no idea what I'm going to send to people, but it'll be really cool.
Bonnie's on now, 6 people. Galvin and Gals isn't even going to sign up. They're going to sing up on the mailing list. They're going to sing.
They said sign, not sing.
Oh, man. I was so yeah. So, all right. Did we have interest in Roslyn Chapel?
Did we go there?
We had interest in it, but we didn't make it there.
Remind me where that is.
So Roslyn Chapel is one of the chapels in Scotland that has to do with, I think, the Knights Templar story and like the Masons.
Okay, I'll look that up.
We didn't go.
Is it in the Highlands?
I don't know where exactly it is.
Okay.
I would have wanted to go, but it wasn't actually in the area that we were visiting Troy. So I totally would have gone. That would have been great. There's a ton of places, like tons that I would love to have gone. Sorry, there's a lot of people asking about like how do you sign up, and like Ronnie's like, as soon as I figure out how to sign up, I will be on there.
So go to meanstotravel.com if you want to sign up, and it's on the bottom of every page on my website that just launched 2 days ago, and it's not very good yet, so I'm sorry. I was not planning on telling you all that the website launched.
In fact, she told me before we went on, don't tell them.
I was like,
about
don't
my
say
website.
it, and I even forget now how this happened. But yes, thank you guys so much for supporting me. I really, really appreciate it, because there might be a few tweaks to it even by next week.
So Melinda's telling us that Trace might sing, but she'll only sign. That's funny.
That is funny. But thank you, Thomas, for signing up, and Ronnie, if you do. You guys are the best.
Yeah, so Troy, it has to do with the Knights Templar and the Freemasons and stuff. It's near Edinburgh.
Oh, then Derek would be all over that, because Derek's a Freemason.
I am. So one of the cool things about like London is that London does have like the like grand poobah of the Masonic like lodges and temples and stuff, and they have a big museum and stuff there. And we walk by it pretty much every time we go there, because it's like right there in like center of town. And every time I'm like, look at that, we should go.
Oh my gosh! Every time we see a Freemason lodge, oh,
there's actually a pub that's like right across the street from that place in London called the Freemason Arms, and I'm like, I have to go drink there.
I thought you were about to say what I was gonna say,
Oh.
and that's that. Last February, right before coronavirus happened, my friends and I went to a cider brewery in Chicago. And it's in this old Freemason lodge. It is so freaking cool. And Derek had to work so late that night that he didn't get to go. And I was literally like texting Derek from the cider brewery, being like, "You need to come here. This would be your favorite place." But he didn't go, and then everything went cray. So we'll go at some point when we're back in Chicago for sure.
Troy, thanks, brother. Eric B, not sure what I signed up for, but I like to support my friends.
Thanks, guys.
You just signed up for...
Right now, you haven't signed up for anything.
No,
so...
you signed up for mailless karaoke.
What?
Mailless karaoke. Everybody's
What's
got to
that?
sing.
Oh, okay. Oh, the sing. I had no idea where you were going with that. I see the connection now.
Karaoke.
I'm following.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to be sending much to you guys' inboxes, especially anytime soon. But great feedback from all of you guys. That sounds like if I do end up sending stuff, just sending like itineraries and things are what sound cool to you guys. So noted.
Yeah. So about like the Da Vinci Code and whatnot. I mean. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of mythology around the Freemasons and everything. And the Da Vinci Code obviously, takes a lot of that and runs with it. I've liked some of his books and stuff. He actually had a pretty good one called The Sign that came out when I was in college that I thought was actually pretty good. But gotta take it all with a grain of salt, right? I mean, I don't think there's any global conspiracy out there, so that's that.
Thomas, that's a great suggestion, by the way. He says the chat schedule would help. I can definitely do that.
That should definitely go out.
Yeah. Or maybe just like little reminders like, hey, we're chatting tonight.
Yes, that would probably be good. So we will work on that. Gal and Gals Illuminati. Do you know how often on Instagram I get people from the Illuminati telling me how I can make $1 million a month if I just like respond to them?
$1 million a month?
And I'm like, guys, that'd be great, but like, no. Yeah, it's so good.
Roslyn Chapel has a lot of bizarre sculptures.
Yep.
Maize carved into the chapel wall before the Americas were found.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's historic.
So yeah, the Illuminati though. Every time I get an Illuminati message from Instagram, I'm just like, come on, guys.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think I get those.
You've never gotten those?
I don't think so.
Oh man, I get those, and it's always obviously like translated into English because it's like, join the Illuminati, and it's like just really bad.
I haven't gotten that.
Okay.
I'm not part of the target audience, I guess.
I guess not. But yeah, so I think we're getting to the end though. Mm-hmm. It's getting late.
We have been on for 3 hours.
We're almost at 3 hours. We're
you
2
guys are,
minutes away from 3 hours.
We're like basically doubled our last live stream time.
I thought.
Thank you all. You're the best.
I thought we were gonna end an hour ago, and then Galventing Gals and others joined.
And Kim
joined, and it was like.
Troy joined. Yeah, this is fun. We've just kept it going. And you guys have had really great questions.
Yes.
Our next live streams are a week from Saturday. It's going to be January 23rd at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central. And then it's going to be Thursday, January 28th at 7 p.m. So same time, same place as this one. Cool. So, we don't have the February schedule yet because, to be totally honest with you guys, Derek and I are working through like our road trip stuff and everything like that. Yep. So, Darian did announce at the beginning of this live stream that we
20th of February.
are going to be on Darian's live stream on Saturday the 20th of February. So hopefully you guys can join in that. We're going to be
at
exchanging
7 p.m.
stories,
Eastern time, I think.
shooting the breeze. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be great.
I bet we'll talk about spaghetti ice at some point in time.
I've
And,
never.
it should be
Shoot!
fun.
We got to go to Covington and have spaghetti ice
Before then.
before that. Otherwise, we're gonna be kicked off the live stream. He's gonna be like, "Get out! You guys suck."
Okay.
Yeah. You guys are the best, though. All of you, especially if you've been on
Thank
the
you.
whole time.
Oh, man.
Then
Like
you're
Shady Hill Homestead.
Shady Hill Homestead. Then you are epic.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We really appreciate it. We know that you could be spending your time other places, so thanks for being with us.
We really appreciate it. It brings us so much joy to have these live streams and talk to you guys and talk about our shared passions, answer questions, talk about travel, hear about your experiences, learn from each other. So I hope you guys, find these valuable just like we do.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Have a great
and a good
rest
weekend.
of your weekend, and next week. Talk to you all very soon.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.